Hello, this is my human costume. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion Spiral Arm of the Milky Way Galaxy, the Solar System, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside of Los Angeles, California, to be pseudo-specific. My name's BrianEngelman. Today is Friday, October the 3rd, 2025. And this right here, the thing that you are watching is called, what is it called? Say it all together now as I switch the thing and you don't even know the difference now. Boom, it's called the TNAM Daily Show. Can I get a 5 out of sold on the new American media? That's what TNAM stands for, because the news always matters. And we are the new American media because the old American media failed, of course. We're going to talk about all the things. Digital ID, global population invasion, inflation, and so much more. So let's buckle up, jump into the comments, and start today's show right about now.
Your guide to the truth, thenewamericanmedia.com.
Whoa, did I just swipe that away? I didn't know that was possible. I was giving the old keyboard a little dust in there, kind of getting my workspace organized. Clean your bloody room. Pop culture reference, who says that? Type it in the question of the day. I will pepper questions of the days. And by the way, feel free to answer this question after the fact when you're watching our shows. Feel free to answer the question after the fact when you're watching our shows. It sounds like it feels like a cadence, some sort of rapping tempo, some sort of drumming tempo. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. But I'm a musician, so I hear things that way. Thank you all for being here. What a day yesterday. Unfortunately, my Cleveland Guardians are gone out of the playoffs. Playoffs! I do a show called The Unhappy Hour Sports Show. Let me know if you want any sets of coasters for your homestead or man cave. I also do a show called Strictly Football. There it is up on the screen. I do that show with Mike Barra, Jim Mitchell, and Ezrael Robinson every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, that is in conjunction with the overarching TNAM sports show called The Unhappy Hour Sports Show. There we go. Take that off the screen. So yeah, we did live stream yesterday. Unfortunately, Guardians got beat by the Tigers. Heck of a season to salvage from nothing. But man, you know, you just wish we had a couple of extra pieces to really compete for the championship. We have a lot of key components. We have a very organized, tight, effective organization. Just looking for a little something to take us over the edge, I suppose. So thank you for being here. We were covering a lot of sports over the past couple of days. But hey, now we're going to get into the news. Let me pull the comments up. Trash Pandemonium. All right, that's a good nickname. By the way, let me know if you want a cup. Speaking of Trash Panda made these New American Media red, white, and blue cups. Blue, white, red. It's some version of a red. Just let me know if you want some. I'd love to mail them out. Kenneth is drinking his coffee out of a mug that says The New American Media. Am I right? Trash Pander. Monium. Hello, Marion. Did any of your players do well? How did Puka Nacua do for you last night? Wasn't it Kyron Williams got a bunch of those Rams touchdowns? But still, he probably had a bunch of catches and receptions, right? I didn't follow the whole game. Teacher, coach, friend, funny person. Where you at? Where you is, fool? Where you is? I had to put on my human costume. That's what I had to do. Teacher, coach, friend. Can you give my eulogy, Marion? Whenever that may be. Hopefully that's a long time away. That would be fine. You could. Somebody can clip this moment because at some point I'll be gone. And Charlie had so many of those moments. Asked questions. What would you like to be remembered by? You mean like when I'm gone? Okay, well, that's a good one though. Teacher, coach, friend, funny person. I've been called a lot worse. Don't go into the light, Kenneth. Don't go into the light. No, Kenneth, we're going to talk about digital ID, not digital IUD. Although, I hear it is electrifying. I hear it's quite stimulating. Oh, it's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. Oh, David. Hello, David. What's up? Now back to the depression with the Browns. Hey, fine. Okay, cool. David, tell me you at least root for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Easily the number one team in the nation. Easily the number one defense in the nation. Easily one of the top performing quarterbacks in the nation. Easily one of the best performing programs in the nation. Tell me you're at least an Ohio State Buckeye fan. And by the way, look, the Cleveland Browns start a brand new quarterback in London. They're playing the London game against the Minnesota Vikings. I should bring Blake on and do a show. I should do that. Let me send Blake a message. I wonder if he would want to jump in for that. That could be fun. I don't know how much he's paying attention to the Vikings. Hey, have you been paying attention to your Minnesota Vikings this season? Would you want to jump in to do a show today or tomorrow? And by the way, I'm live right now if you wanted to just jump in. I'd shoot you the link. But my Browns are playing your Vikings in England. I mean, we could talk about how England has changed with the invasion. We could just talk about sports and McCarthy and Wentz, or I don't know. I just don't know how much you're paying attention. But open invitation, let me know. I'm going to be on for the next 2-3 hours. So if you wanted to today, cool. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to be pretty busy tomorrow. Maybe early Sunday morning because the game's at 9:30 a.m. Let me know. All right, that was me booking something. Hey, have you been paying attention to your ministry? Okay. I also sent an invitation. I want to thank the people who have sent donations, by the way. I sent a Cash App to the Scott Adams camp so that I could leave a message to try to book him on the show. I really like his process of how he processes an incoming news story, especially like in a war situation. And it was one where it was like, oh, well, it turns out this flotilla, it was paid for by Hamas and we found the documents. And Scott was like, hold on. I don't know if that just seems, regardless of who's involved, that story seems too on the nose. Like, oh, we found a passport right here in the, look, it was this. We found a passport on 9/11. Go figure. Oh, it was the butchered babies. It was the, we found the flotilla. Oh, look, here's the receipt. Charlie Kirk. Oh, look at what the trans lover sent his trans lover. Oh, my dear. Alas, I must admit to this heinous act. Therefore, let me walk through this with you step by step by tragic step. Oh, my love. You're like, what? Seems like the fakest shit I've ever seen. Who's writing this script? Have movies become this bad? But we're in a point where we don't believe much of anything, isn't it? And I like how Scott just looks at stories and he always talks about that's a little too on the nose. And that's not rooting for a team. That's not like I'm rooting for the Ohio State Buckeyes or the Cleveland Browns. So I'm going to judge a play based on, does that hurt me? Does that help me? I'm going to judge it on what happened yesterday. Jose Ramirez tried to steal second base. Let's do this play. It was a passed ball. It went into the off the field of play into foul territory. The pitcher ran and got it. Jose Ramirez went around first, over to second, and he dove in, called safe. I was like, all right, let's go. Then they showed a replay, and you could see as he was diving, he was tagged clearly in advance of getting there safely. And I said, well, objectively, he's out. Sucks, but he's out. And I try to just call things as I see them. It's not about, does this hurt my team or help my team? I mean, did I yell about the Epstein list a little bit louder when the other side had it? I did. I'm seeing 1,000 things that are being corrected during this administration, and I like that we're prioritizing it. And I don't have access to what is there, what is not there. I know that the Florida district attorneys and there's circuit court judges, I forget the exact level it went to, but it's being blocked. The grand jury testimony, and that's really the only evidence that we have. By the way, isn't Diddy getting sentenced today? If anyone can look that up, see if there's an update on that. I heard that was going to happen today. But it's hard to tell what's real. And yeah, so I reached out. Thank you to the people who have donated to me, because then I sent his production team a message. And in the thing, I'm like, hey, can I book Scott Adams? Scott's has some health issues. He's been one of the biggest influences on my career. And I would definitely, as I watch that TDAM intro, it's like, okay, John McAfee's gone, Charlie Kirk's gone. You go down the list, and it's like, these things happen. A lot of people I've talked to are gone. Jordan Maxwell gone. There's a laundry list. Sean David Morton gone. Just a lot of people that Jim Mars gone. These people I had a chance to connect with and maybe elicit some story or memory or something that could prove valuable for time immemorial once I'm gone. So, yeah. But thanks for anyone who's donated to the show, because I sent him a donation saying, hey, because there was no direct message thing on X. I'm like, how do I reach these people? And there was a tip jar, and it didn't quite connect through X, but I was like, let me find it. And so I sent something through Cash App. So thank you to anyone who's helped support our show, by the way. I know it is sort of what makes the world go around these days. Links are scrolling below: Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Patreon. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, now back to depression with the Cleveland Browns, David. I know. But look, I sent Blake that message. We'll see if he reaches back out. And let's see here, switching screens. There we are. So this could be a new era in Cleveland, is what I'm getting at. New quarterback, new opportunity. We have some youthful key players that have been drafted recently. And so the Browns are going to have a chance to turn things around, but we'll talk about that more on our sports show, shall we? What are you saying about the Dolphins? That's your team? Okay, you got 19 points. Marion did on her fantasy football. Congrats. That's 19 is solid. Well, we never know when any of us are going to be gone. Maybe we'll all be gone at the same moment. Maybe it'll be a rapture or something. Captain B2. I like Ohio State for sure. Awesome. The Ohio State O faces. No, it's the Buckeyes. David's brother's team is the Vikings. The Bi-Kings, you mean? Oh, there's a good joke. The Bi-Kings. The Vikings, more like the Bi-Kings. Look at their cheerleading crew. I went to a football game and there were dude cheerleaders. I'm used to manly dude cheerleaders that will lift and toss ladies. It's something different to prance around as a lady cheerleader. The classic, I'm a dude, here are my muscles, I will lift the beautiful lady, and guess what? I will hold her up like a bowling ball. You want to call me gay? I'm holding a beautiful light lady with like a bowling ball. Are you? Because that was an often a knock. Oh, a male cheerleader. Okay. Look at Fancy Pants over there. Look at the male cheerleader. He's like, my guitar player was actually a male cheerleader, by the way. But yeah, it's different when you have lady cheerleaders, but you also have male cheerleaders exhibiting the characteristics and traits and mannerisms of lady cheerleaders. And the super cool thing. Because like I on one hand, I don't care what anybody does with their life. Like, it's cool. Like, I'm very libertarian. Humanity's kind of awesome if you just live and let live. I just had a hunch, though, because I had a football and I was out at tailgate for a college football game a couple weeks ago, and I was throwing the football at everybody, and it's like, you got to either underhand it or you got to just nice soft throws. And they throw it back, and just everybody was lighting up. We were right there tailgating, and just as people walked, we were throwing the football, and it was spreading so much energy and joy. I had such a great day just throwing the football around. Fun fact, I did that in California at a big camp out cookout. It was like a whole day long volleyball and barbecue and at the beach thing. And I threw the music was super, 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 super loud, and it was right near me. But we had a football, and I started throwing it with the dude, Craig Robertson, the actor from Hot Tub Time Machine and The Office. You could call him a blackter because he's a black actor. I love combining words that are awesome like that. He's been in a ton of stuff. He's doing the Pizza Hut commercials. I don't know if we said 5 words to each other in like 2 hours. We're flipping the ball, spinning the ball, throwing the ball high, throwing the ball fast, throwing the ball on the run, throwing the ball off one foot. We were just throwing the football to each other. And the music was so loud, there was going to be no conversation, no shooting the shit. Because I'll tell you what, hanging out, like chit-chatting with Craig Robertson from The Office would be like, that'd be a great conversation. He's been in 1,000 hilarious scenes. My plums. He's in that scene, Kenneth. He's in the plums. Question of the day. What is that from? My plums. What is that from? Yeah, there's just something awesome about throwing the football around. And there were 2 male cheerleaders that went past. And they were kind of stopped and kind of talking, and we were kind of there. And I'm like, because what you had to do is you'd have to kind of go like this, and the person's eyes would either shrink and go, no, or they just look past, like, no, I don't want to get involved in that. Or they'll give you a no, or they'll just keep going. But then if people go, you go, oh, okay, here it goes. Plums. And so these guys came past, and they were on the cheerleading team. And they said, yeah. And I threw it to them. A solid throw. They threw it back. I threw it to that. The very few people got 2 throws, but like, these were athletic people. These are athletic dudes with some feminine characteristics. But I was like, I bet you're here because you actually play football. You actually know football. You probably actually like football. And I think I was right. And that was pretty cool because it was just a moment. I don't know. I had another moment on the sideline for my high school football team. That was wild. And I spent a little bit of time talking to the kids that were injured on the side. Arm in a cast, on crutches, or what happened, did various versions of injuries. And I talked to these kids because I was ineligible for a whole year. And so I don't know, just there's something about football and the lessons it teaches and the smiles it brings. I love the game. So we'll see if Blake gets back to me. And please check out our episode from Tuesday of Strictly Football with Mike Barrett, Jim Mitchell, Ezra L. Robinson, and myself. That's live. I think that was episode 6 or 7 of season 2. We're on season 2 now. We did about 25, 26 episodes last year. I just love it. So anyway, thanks for being here. Let's get into the news. Nick Shirley is everywhere these days, just interviewing people and getting information. This is Nick Shirley, Portland Antifa Chaos. It's unreal. Over 100 days, Antifa and protesters have occupied a few blocks surrounding an ICE detention facility. The undercover journalist is interviewed and found out who is leading them as they all poop at Chandler's. National Guard is set to enter this weekend, and we will see what happens.
About these protesters.
I've been documenting this for 3.5 months every day, calling them domestic terrorists. And Trump finally labeled them as domestic violent terrorist organization, like I've been, and I have the record of it. Get the back.
Your name is
You're
Billy,
on too
right?
much. Yeah, my name is Lavelle Howard. You want the real name?
Thank you.
Yeah. How much medication are you on? Yeah. Look at your. What's wrong with you? You guys are mentally ill.
Would you say these people are mentally ill?
Yeah, they're mentally ill. They're on drugs. Look at their pupils. They're all out here drinking at night. They're all getting drunk. They're all on drugs. That's why they're going to get hit with conspiracy charges, RICO charges, domestic terrorist charges, and the leader is Chandler Patel. He lives in a building right over here. He's the leader. I've interviewed him 10 times. The funny joke is everybody poops at Chandler's. Everybody does poop at Chandler's. That's what they do because he lets all the Antifa members go to his house and have.
And that's all that it takes in a neighborhood. I've lived in neighborhoods terrorized by one Chandler, maybe two. They let all the dirtbags in, and they cause problems everywhere around. So all you have to do is be proactive, listen to the residents, and go get Chandler, close the place down. It's super easy if you give a shit, unless it's what you want to have happen. And that's what Portland and Los Angeles and New York and Chicago and Oakland, these horribly run cities with no law and order, they've allowed this to happen. They want this to happen. It's absolute chaos. If you've traveled around the country like I have over the past 15 years, past 20 years, I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. Some people are very concerned that ICE is going around trying to help clean up Memphis and Detroit and Chicago and New York and Los Angeles. It's like, what? Yes, clean it the hell up. And, you know, by the way, I'm starting to get more and more disgusted by having trash on the freeways. It's like, look, people that are committing nonviolent crimes, don't throw them in a cage. Get them out there cleaning the community. Paint over the graffiti. Power wash the filth. Clean up your own city as a punishment for screwing up in your city. That's all you got to be doing. Don't feed the military-industrial complex, prison-industrial complex pipeline. Clean up your damn cities. They're showing Portland, all the parks. They're like GD garbage dumps. See? That's double GD. GD squared. GD. That's for Deb. She asked me not to say the word GD. But yeah, Chandler's, they're having sex parties, says him.
They have sex parties. They get drunk. This is what they do. They pay them to come out. They pay homeless people to get drunk out here. So it's an organization. It really is an organization where there's plans being made. People are getting paid. People have places to go and shower and bathe. So it's an organization.
People have said Antifa is not an organization. Do you believe it?
That is such a just like the Obama administration is scandal-free. You know, I mean, like you couldn't write the more opposite 2 + 2 = 5. The bigger the lie, the more believable it is sometimes. Oh yeah, there's no organization about Antifa. It's like, you're really gonna say this stuff out loud? Do you have any idea how dumb you sound?
It's an organization.
100%.
And are these people dangerous?
Very dangerous. Most of them are. They're on a lot of medication. They get very violent. You know, it's crazy how violent it gets, especially at night.
What do you think about these protesters?
Documenting this.
So there you go. Be forewarned. Be prepared in your city. TNM preparedness, people. Let me go do some comments, and I'll get back to some of these posts here. All right. David said his brother's favorite team is the Vikings. Awesome. Yeah, I've liked the Vikings over time. I liked Robert Griffin. I liked Randy Moss. I liked Chris Carter. Kenneth is more of a Bucks fan now. Of course, me too. Emeka Ibuka from the Buckeyes and Baker Mayfield, of course. David saying the Dolphins are a mess, so I understand why you'd want to stay away. Yep. Oh, Kenneth, you're launching a flotilla every morning after you drink a coffee from your mug that says the New American Media. Kenneth, was mailed our very first mailing. If you want one, they're $40. Just shoot a Cash App or a tip or a super chat or something. I'll mail one of these out to you. Shipping's included, so it's like $10 of the 40 is just shipping. The rest is a fundraiser for the New American Media, courtesy of John. Thank you, John, for creating these. John of our meme team, our TNAM meme team. He joins a storied list of people who have done amazing stuff over the 14 years that we've been creating content. So yeah, Kenneth launches a flotilla after drinking his coffee from the New American Media mug each morning. Launch a flotilla. Oh, boy. A pretty black girl football team, the Cleavage Browns. Now, why do they have to be black girls? By the way, I thought there'd be an awesome name for a group of Cleveland Browns cheerleaders. Call them the Brownies. You know, like the Brownies. Weren't Brownie Scouts or weren't the Girl Scouts, Cub Scout, Brownie Scouts? Wasn't that a thing? But yeah, the Brownies. Although I got the visual right away and I was pleased. Yeah, when you have different cheerleaders, it's not the same. And it's not. I mean, it's not my cup of tea. It's not what I'm interested in. You know. Kenneth says he's afraid to break it. Oh, okay. So all right. So here's the okay. Are you telling me that this mug is sitting up on your shelf, maybe with pencils in it, because you don't want to break? You don't want it to actually be your daily drinker. I could understand that. I've turned it into my daily drinker so that I can advertise it each day because I have 17 that I'd like to mail out. If anybody wants one, just let me know. Except David, you live too far away. You're up in Ontario. No, I'm just kidding. If shipping was $40, I'd love for it to go to you. That'd be awesome, by the way. Uh-oh, here come the girlies. Danette says brownies are the age group above the daisies. Wasn't that you'd be a daisy if you do? Did you ever hear that movie line? I'm a daisy if you do. Question of the day, where's that from? I'm a daisy if you do. Come on, please tell me someone's going to get this. Do I need to give you hints? It's a tense scene just before a famous clash. I'm reading through this so I can... Oh, okay. In response to someone saying, hell's coming with me, with a smirk, he delivers the iconic line, I'm a daisy if you do. In that slang, calling someone a daisy meant they were excellent or admirable, often used sarcastically. Meaning, if anyone actually dares to draw their weapon, he'd be impressed, sarcastically calling himself a daisy. It's a taunt, daring the person to make a move while showcasing confidence and bravado. The line reflects the personality, witty, defiant, and unafraid despite his failing health. And it heightens the tension before the explosive fight. It's become one of the most memorable lines from this movie, celebrated for the actor's charismatic delivery and the film's blend of humor and intensity. I'm a daisy if you do. Okay, how do we get you back to 2 earbuds, Danette? I swear, we need to do like a... There's got to be a way to put like an Amazon link. Because you can find some decent earbuds for $5, $10, $20. I feel like it'd be cool for us to just mail you a pair. You only get one side. Kenneth has brownies in the morning. All right, Kenneth, enough of the poop jokes, all right? Okay, so brownies are the age group above the daisies. I'm a daisy if you do. And then brownies are before Girl Scouts. Yeah, thank you for the info. That's a world I don't know. I did like Cub Scouts, Weeblos. Where did I stop? I don't know, somewhere around there. Kenneth says yes, he's afraid to break it, so it sits. That's cool. It'll sit there as a display piece. So if anyone wants a display piece, you let me know. Danette says put a plant in it. Okay. I support growing things. Kenneth may buy another. Yes, you may. You may buy as many of these as you want. I have 17 more. But I'm not in charge of supply, so there's 17 while you guys want them. Danette says, save me one. Save you one until when? First come, first serve. First 17. I know. You're trying to save one. Yep. Sneaking in with the earbud. Okay. Yes, David knows it. Kenneth knows it. Tombstone. I'm a daisy if you do. We should all have, we should have to watch that in American history class. I know it's a Hollywoodized movie, but it's interesting. It's a take on history, but man, it's so good. There's so many good moments in that. Val Kilmer was amazing. All right, so Charlie Kirk, shared by End Wokeness here. He had thoughts on government shutdowns. Back in 2019, he wrote, and by the way, this is part of my growing trend to make sure that since Charlie Kirk was taken away from us, we're going to share more of his stuff and comment more about his philosophies, his opinions than ever before, because fuck you. You don't get to take chess pieces off the board. You don't get to steal ideas away from us. We are all Charlie Kirk. You MFers. Look at me self-censoring. I'm trying, Ringo, but it's hard. I'm trying. What's that from? Question of the day. I'm trying, Ringo, but it's hard. Charlie Kirk says we should use this government shutdown as a chance to shrink government permanently. Privatize the TSA, privatize the FAA air traffic controllers, abolish the IRS, remove non-essential workers. If workers aren't essential, they shouldn't be working in government in the first place. How about that? Do you agree or disagree with Mr. Charlie Kirk? I think that's a pretty good take, and it seems like that is the President Trump strategy. Charlie Kirk once said, if you're 8, I believe this is a real quote. I don't know. And if I'm always open to the possibility that something I share like this might not be entirely accurate. But this says, if you're 18 and you think you're the opposite sex, you have a mental illness. If you're 8 and think you're the opposite sex, your mother has a mental illness. We need to protect the kids from the Munchausen mommies. We absolutely need to protect the kids. When they're 18, they can do whatever they want. We shouldn't be mean and abusive. And on the flip side, you don't get to go into the locker rooms and compete in sports. Just like, let's get back to coexisting and having a great day. There were a couple of clear red lines that were crossed that are non-negotiable. So Brandon Tatum there, this whataboutism. We said, nope, it doesn't exist. We are done humoring whataboutism. So here's Brandon Tatum on Real America's Voice, talking about they can say all they want about right-wing violence if they want, but
say all they want about the right-wing violence and all of this other stuff. They will never show a video. There isn't a video that exists of a left-leaning person going to campus, doing a speech or tabling or anything like that, and conservatives or people on the right bludgeoning them.
Please try to show me one.
No. The video don't exist.
Nope.
The video don't exist of left-wing nut jobs going in the street and pushing abortion, and conservatives are just beating them up and doing all this stuff. No. The videos don't exist.
By the way, we've said it before, but it bears repeating again and again and again. Our friend, Charlie Kirk, gets assassinated. We didn't burn down cities. We didn't loot businesses. There wasn't mass rioting and mass violence taken to the streets. What was there? It was vigils and memorials and prayer. We are not the same.
Right.
Because ultimately the issue, these politicians are endemic of a larger issue because they're coddling these domestic terrorists, these violent extremists, with the actual violent extremists. And but it is a core. It's a core. It's a feature. It's not a bug of leftism that you resort to violence because you believe that it's justified. You're not anchored in some deeper Christian truth about that. God is vengeance belongs to the Lord, or that government should wield the sword. No, that's not what that's about. They think that they need to take it into their own hands, and we're seeing that again and again. And so you've seen it firsthand.
They can say all they want about the right-wing violence and all of this other stuff. They will never show a video. There isn't a video that exists.
It doesn't exist. We are not the same. Okay, Tim Pool having a conversation here. We're seeing this guy, Shane Cashman. This is for David Band. David, are you sick to death of what's being sprayed up in our skies? I am. Everybody else, are we in agreement? We're sick of this shit. You don't own the skies to drop your shit into my lungs? Back off. Tim Pool, here is this guy. Shane Cashman. I'm sorry. Rainmaker CEO Augustus Dorico. So here we go. Rainmaker been given license to spray stuff in your sky. When did we vote on this?
Augustus Dorico.
Pleasure.
Who are you? What do you
Yeah, my name's Augustus Dorico. I run Rainmaker. We're the biggest cloud seeding company in the United States, and we're making more water for farms, ecosystem restoration, hydroelectric utilities, and ski resorts by flying drones into clouds that aren't naturally precipitating and then making them rain or snow more.
Uh-oh.
I'm Shane Cashman. If I were king, I would ban this because it's sky terrorism. But I'm happy you're here.
Dude, I would love to talk about it.
I'm stoked to talk about it.
Yeah. I just look right at Shane. I'm like waiting for him to say that clouds don't exist.
I've been telling them about weather manipulation for years. Everyone laughs at me. I'm like, well, the face of Big Cloud is right here.
The face of Big Cloud. Yeah, I mean, I've done interviews with people about Skywatch, and I mean, just go on and on. I love the topic, but this was one of those topics that if you talked about, you'd get banned. You started seeing that if you discussed these conversations, YouTube would ban you, Facebook would ban you, Instagram would ban you, Twitter would ban you. This is the totalitarian regime that it took Trump winning for us to escape. Otherwise, this was going to get ratcheted up more and more. Thank God we've had a pushback to take the Overton window back to sanity a little bit. Are we going to get to perfect? I highly doubt it, especially in 9 months after it's taken 90 years for us to get this bad. 250 years for that matter, 3 times that. Shane Cashman is awesome. I'm not familiar with Shane Cashman. Let's listen to a little bit more of the chat then.
How do you reconcile cloud seeding with the fact that there's not even any clouds?
Well, there's clouds. He just keeps mutilating them.
Well, where are the clouds coming from?
Yeah.
Cultivating.
You're not cultivating. You're destroying God's beauty.
You ever heard of air soul invigoration of convection, bro?
Tell me about it, bro.
We make them bigger, the clouds.
Yeah, I don't like it.
You like small clouds.
I think we should leave it alone.
Do we get rid of the dams on the rivers?
Well, that's engineering. What you're doing is like Oppenheimer.
What is the difference? I mean, okay, dams in the rivers. You're going to have a lot of this cloud seeding guy has had this conversation 1,000 times. He's got some really lined up bullet points. The lawyers have said, okay, here's what you say in response to this. Here's how you defend that. You know, he's well prepared. I'm curious to hear the pushback. I mean, if we can have dams, we can't mess with clouds. Look, I did a documentary in Western North Carolina, Hurricane Helene, Help on the Way. Please check that documentary out, watch it. And, you know, when I do put the tip jar out, the reason is it's like, you know, we've gone to all these things and, you know, it's not like we're being sponsored to do it. Not easy, not cheap trips, but important trips. And, you know, being toured around Southern Virginia, the tip of Tennessee, and then into Western North Carolina, there was a lot of conversation that those storms, it was unlike anything we had ever seen. And it definitely appeared to be orchestrated. There were rumors that it was to flood everybody out of the mountains so that they could start digging for, I don't know what precious metals are in that, lithium maybe. Although I'm hearing today that the biggest lithium deposits are probably in volcanic calderas. And the United States has the most number of those that we could harvest the lithium from if we can get to it. And so they're trying to engineer some sort of way to try to get to it. Fine, granted. But weather manipulation, and I don't want tiny little particles floating down for me to breathe in. I don't want it. Are they trying to block out the sun? They're trying to create clouds. They're trying to multiply clouds. They're trying to destroy clouds. They're poisoning us. They're changing us. They're medicating us. This shit is too far. Nobody really should hold full spectrum dominance on something like that impacts everybody. It's just not something we can ever allow. Oh, don't just trust them. It's okay if they decide to dump some shit all over us and we can't avoid it. Like that's beyond what we have collectively come together to say. Yeah, I get so disgusted when I walk out and there's the lines in the sky and then they spread out and everything's hazy and murky and filmy. And it's like, what? Why would you do this? Can't stand it.
First of all,
you don't know what unintended consequences you're doing by interfering with nature.
So there you go. What unintended consequences are there from interfering with nature? It's almost like the butterfly effect. Butterfly effect, like one small movement here can increase the wind speed here and it can hit the stream and it can create hurricanes. Hurricanes and Butterflies, a song by Muse, one of the best bands out there. Check out some of Muse stuff and read their lyrics as well. Great musicianship, catchy songs. Yeah, and not all of them are winners, of course, but they're great songs. Their 30, 40 great songs are as good as any band's 30, 40 great songs. Fight me on that. Put them up against Led Zeppelin, Beatles, I don't care. So, hurricanes and butterflies, unintended consequences. Yeah, and what are the chemicals? Is that to make us sterile so that we can be replaced in an organized invasion of our sovereign nations? It's what's happened in Europe, Canada, United States, pretty much everywhere, right? Military-aged men being transported behind enemy lines to potentially, function as a sleeper cell. I don't know. Oh, no, they need to block out the sun. It's for our own good. Global warming, don't you see? No, you don't even call it global warming anymore because that doesn't work.
Yeah, but
And you're a privatized war machine that was started in war. And
it was a privatized war machine that was started in war, and that's what the people were saying in North Carolina for Hurricane Helene, asking the question, whoa. Hey, okay, that fell off. They're asking the question, was this done intentionally? Was this an act of war? And we've seen a lot of fires, chemical spills. Could any of these have been acts of war and not just simple accidents? Oh, Wuhan. Yeah, it was just it's a wet market. A bat kissed a pangolin. Or it was a potentially intentionally released bioweapon from the Chinese to take over the world.
And now you're doing it under the guise of masquerading to help farmers. But in the future, I imagine you'll be creating fake rain for data centers that your friends in Silicon Valley will be building everywhere.
My friends, I just disavowed my friends in Silicon Valley.
Not enough. Not enough.
What do you need fake rain for data centers for?
Data centers soak up lots of water, right?
They kind of do, but they're mostly closed loop circuits, so they don't actually consume that.
Have you not said in interviews you're going to drop fake rain for data centers?
It's real rain, actually, but
it's fake.
It's fake rain from fake clouds.
It's silver iodide. They roll their eyes, but this is a very real issue.
We can get into toxicological thresholds, bro. If you want to do
You're just going to keep deflecting with big words. I'd like to keep it blue collar.
Okay. Safe. Big, fluffy, natural, safe. Mm-hmm. Beautiful rain, wet farms, wet data centers. So the specific question is...
you started saying words that no one understood.
The silver iodide stuff is all
but it's not good. We don't know. There's two scientists that just testified 4 days ago before Congress saying they don't even understand what the buildup of silver iodide is going to do to the water and to the soil. Mm-hmm. And you can mention 80 years of data, but Fauci has 8 years of vaccines, and we know that's safe and effective.
Yeah, but hold on. I mean, what you're basically saying is because we can't study the long-term effects multi-decade, we shouldn't do anything?
We should not interfere with nature in the way I think cloud seeding is.
Well,
but real quick.
That's where you were saying, Marion says, I don't like messing with nature or Mother Nature. Have you all watched the video that I made about Anima by Tool? Yeah, I think it's still up on Rumble. YouTube took it down. It was a graphic video set to the music of Tool, Anima. I can't imagine why you wouldn't welcome any change, my friend. Want to see it come down, suck it down, flush it down. Learn to swim, see you down in Arizona Bay. It's about the poles shifting and Mother Earth shaking all the water out of one place and making Arizona Bay. You're going to swallow up California. Some say a comet will fall from the sky, followed by meteor showers and tidal waves, followed by fault lines that cannot sit still, followed by millions of dumbfounded dipshits. And some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. I certainly hope we will. I sure could use a vacation from this bullshit three-ring circus sideshow of freaks here in this hopeless fucking hole we call LA. The only way to fix it is to flush it all away. Any fucking time, any fucking day, learn to swim, see you down in Arizona Bay. I made a graphic video to this because it's such a powerful piece of art, such a powerful song with such an interesting, important message about Mother Nature giving itself an enema. The song is called Anima, Anima. It's been pronounced 1,000 ways. It's kind of like flushing out it as an enema and the anima of a soul kind of combined. You know, like I said, blackter, a black actor, blackter. I love combining words. Portmanteau is what that's called. Portmanteau, I think. Portmanteau, the combining of words. So yeah, Mother Nature, huh?
He made a point about dams.
Right. That's working
that wiped out cities.
That's working. Yeah. And I get it. That's working with nature. That like irrigation, building dams. That's like an engineering I can get behind. But what you're doing, I don't agree with because I believe, and I know your website says you're not playing God. I like that you have that in FAQs, but I think you are playing God.
Well, okay. So just
is Augustus Dorico.
Pleasure.
Who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, my name's Augustus Dorico. I run
There you go. Stop spraying our skies, bro. Button. I mean, the guy is mega douchey, of course. This is what I was kind of talking about, exposing more of the enemies in Portland who are attacking the ICE field office. Democrats, socialist politicians, NGOs, fake churches, violent terrorist organizations working together to undermine our country. This is Ben Berkwam, who I've been alongside in Washington, D.C., in Chicago, at the other conventions. I see him around a lot.
Garbage left behind. Look at all the snacks for the protesters, all out here by the leftist NGOs that were part of the invasion, aiding and abetting the invasion. Now they're out here aiding and abetting the insurrection of America, protecting illegal aliens, some of their supplies, got their helmets.
You can't allow this in a district. Madness.
And this crap, this protest encampment, allowed out here by the city of Portland, while at the same time, the city of Portland does not allow Portland PD to respond to incidents out here. They don't allow Portland PD to aid ICE in any arrests. In fact, they obstruct ICE. They're not allowing their police to respond to crimes that are being committed out here. We have traitors in our government in cities like Portland that allow this crap. We got Karens like this. You know what NGO it is that's running this? Do you know? Are you part of it? Anything? Nothing? Yeah, so this is allowed by Portland while you have leftist, anarchist, terrorists attacking ICE and the ICE facility. This garbage is left out here to aid and abet them. And then you have Karens like this who are out here working for the NGOs, acting like they're noble. It's like it's the most pathetic thing. This is the real enemies within are the leftists. No, I just want to keep you on camera. Apparently you are. It's so pathetic, guys. It's so pathetic. Antifa, these leftist Karens, pretending like they're helping somebody when in reality they're actually undermining our country from within. It's a massive conspiracy between the NGOs, the attorneys associations, Antifa, all of these socialist communist groups, La Raza. It's all the same thing. All enemies within. And they're not okay with just the garbage that they've set up over there. These leftist colonizers are taking even more of the sidewalk here.
This stuff could be gone in a day. All you got to do is care. In a day.
This is the important part. It's not just Antifa, it's all these leftist groups, it's all the attorneys guilds, all working together. This is a massive national conspiracy to undermine this country from within. We got the
We got problems in Portland. Well, then take them to Cortland. Yeah, it's a lot of Karens everywhere now.
Democrat colonizers over here. They come in and they call.
And that is smart to call them colonizers. Like, you just got to turn their words around exactly. They think they have a monopoly on words. They don't.
Colonize the sidewalks.
We have a permit.
Great. Of course you do, because it's Portland. The city of Portland is part of it. So that's it. It's not just the NGOs. It's not just Antifa. It's actually, she just said that. They have a permit because the city of Portland is actually involved in this insurrection. She just admitted it.
It is an insurrection taking over the country. Block by block.
Of course you have a permit. So just a quick question. What kind of criminals are you guys okay with keeping here?
We're not taking questions right now.
Rapists, murderers? I mean, are all illegals supposed to stay? You're good with rapists, child molesters, murderers? Or are those ones okay to be deported? Anyone? Do you guys have any standards or everybody can stay? She's got an RBG hat. Anything?
Somebody brought some yesterday.
Hi.
So I think
Rapists, murderers, anything?
Yeah.
Are they okay? You guys are okay with rapists and murderers? Or can we deport them? Is the mask for COVID? Or is that because you want to commit crimes like Antifa? Anything? So this is it, guys. Legal observer. Of course she is a legal observer.
Legal observer.
This is the key, guys. It's all connected.
Yep.
It's a RICO. All of this. So you've got the legal observers working with the city of Portland,
through the NGOs, through the tax dollars,
working to protect terrorist organizations like Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
All here.
USAID, BLM. There's 100 different groups.
Protecting criminal illegal aliens. The worst of the worst. And then this lady is running circles because she doesn't want to be on camera. It's all connected, guys. It's all connected. The enemies within, right here. The Karen enemies within. Working with all of them. It's time for some more public shaming. America, make shaming great again. Shame these people.
There you go. Oh, that's a good line. Make shaming great again. Here we go. Make shaming great again button. Yeah, putting these buttons gets a lot of likes for the channel. I do want to grow the Instagram. I should probably be doing... Actually, it won't let me go live for some reason. Once again, if I could... As we grow, I'd love to get the right production team in place that could fix some of these issues. All right, here, take a look. European Union has declared that U.S. citizens who refuse biometric digital ID will be barred from Europe. There, now you can read that better. What is this according to? Adrian Norman, D.C. Fact check by People's Voice Community. Baxter Dimitri wrote this September 30th. So this is new. Repost trip over drip. Okay, I don't know what that is. Anyway, yeah, this is happening all over the place. Watch Europe for the digital ID. You'll be barred from going there unless you take your mark of the beast. We're entering a strange time, people. Here we go. I'll do a comment. Lines in the sand are being crossed. Button. Europe hates America now. Act accordingly. Yeah, Engage Politics official here puts this out. I think there's music, but you can look at the expressions. It says, when podcasters show more empathy and boldness than half of American pastors. Yeah, and Theo's been he made a suicidal comment. People are checking in on Theo Vaughn. He said he's just thinking about ways to not take his own life. And it's like, oh, buddy. You know, in the middle of whatever else he's going through, this Charlie Kirk thing is just, it rips the heart out. It's been a tough month. It's been a tough month when you're shaken to the core and you realize just how bad things are. I don't know Debris who that is. And here's Rogan. Patrick Bet David being overcome. That was Mark. That was Alex Stein. Dean Withers. Whoever this is. Yeah. Says, I saw more empathy, boldness, and courage to speak on Charlie's assassination from podcasters than many American pastors. Not all of them, but many of them. If you believe the pulpit shouldn't get political, then you shouldn't talk about MLK, racism, charity, or money from the pulpit either. Be consistent. Still looking for a church that suits my energy. Dr. Simon Goddick says, remember when digital ID was a crazy conspiracy theory? Well, now it's rolling out everywhere under the name of safety and convenience. There, easier to read. We told you, you laughed. Turns out the conspiracy theorists were just early, as usual. Jason Bassler says, UK just made digital IDs mandatory. Albania just appointed its first AI minister. Trump announced AI verification system at the UN. Vietnam will deactivate 86 million bank accounts without biometric ID. Today's conspiracy theory is tomorrow's reality. Carl Vernon says, funny how multiple countries are looking to implement digital ID all at once. Must be a coincidence. Mark says, almost as if there's a secret group of people behind the scenes that have meticulously planned it for decades. Mojo Jojo Musing says, almost like it was foretold in prophecy thousands of years ago. Revelation 13:17 doesn't sound so far-fetched anymore, does it? Quote, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark, that is the name of the beast or the number of its name. Revelation 13, chapter 13, verse 16 through 17, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of its name. Comment here, COVID was a test run and many people failed. Here's an article talking about Vietnam erasing 86 million bank accounts of non-compliant citizens who have refused digital ID. We're in trouble, people. This says it's not chaos, it's planned. This is from the Unveil Truths account. I wasn't even following it. I'll follow it now. It's not chaos, it's planned. Number one, import migrants and destroy the current culture. 2, jail citizens for criticism. 3, turn police against the citizens. 4, invoke digital ID and surveillance. 5, bankrupt the nation to eliminate government. 6, eliminate private property. 7, transfer citizens to global government. Here's a reminder. Biometric digital ID isn't meant to keep the kids safe on the internet. It's to track you everywhere. You know that, right? Say no to digital ID. We didn't vote for this. What could digital ID mean for you? Well, data breaches, identity theft, fraud, government overreach, political restriction, privacy violation, freedom loss, resource diversion, trust erosion, social inequality, although that's a buzzword. I don't trust that ever when I see it. Corporate power, surveillance state, human rights abuse, social credit system, totalitarian state, and cashless society. Resist. That'll be my comment. Resist button. Digital ID, everybody. What is Palantir up to?
Told you that there was a company called Palantir, and their entire existence was to hear your whispers so they could predict what you would do next.
This is shared from the Igor Kryan account. I'm not following this either. It sounded interesting, so let's unpack it together. I'll follow today.
Now, what if I...
Look, we're a bunch of trash pandas rifling through the rubbish. A share does not equal an endorsement. You people who have criticized me, I can't believe you shared a thing the other day that said this thing. I didn't say anything that said that. Yeah, well, you shared it. The show's called Agree to Disagree. Like that is the overarching podcast name. The Agree to Disagree show is how you subscribe and get the TNAM Daily Show. You can agree or disagree. Like a share is not an endorsement. I mean, we know that, right? We sort of know that. By the way, hit the heart button or hit the 100 button or do the confetti if you're watching on YouTube. Interact with the algorithm a little bit if you could. And we do have memberships and super chats on YouTube as well. But so they're trying to watch us at all times, Palantir, effectively altering our reality. What if
I told you it was backed by the founder of PayPal and the CIA? What if I told you Palantir was quietly connected to your bank statements, social media, medical records, and a lot more? Then what if I told you their entire purpose was to understand and blueprint your life so they could predict exactly what you do next? If you want to know what that's called, it's called behavior surveillance. Like that grocery receipt from the time you went to the store at 11 p.m. We can't forget about that sudden change in your jogging pattern outside. They won't. Or your 3 a.m. Google search. You see, Palantir sends your personality anomalies directly to the government because you unknowingly gave them that right in the terms and agreements that you didn't read. Palantir isn't just surveillance, it's predictive governance. Control the data, control the decisions. Well, at that point, you can basically control anyone without them knowing that you're doing so. Palantir wasn't profitable for the first 17 years, and now their net worth is the same as Bank of America. And like I said, you gave them this ability when you did terms and agreements and didn't read it, gym memberships, and most of the smart devices that are in your home. Palantir is no longer a company. It is now a digital nervous system that takes care of the oh so fragile and insecure American people. The next time your thoughts shift or a news cycle tells you what to believe, ask yourself, is this really my decision? What if I told you that there was a company called Palantir?
So there you go. We need to be aware this is happening real fast. All right, here's the timeline that's telling the story. 1997, Netflix was founded. 2018, the Obamas sign a massive Netflix deal. 2020, the first major grooming allegations at Netflix occur. 2025, Netflix openly accused of grooming kids. 21 years, no grooming allegations. Less than 2 years after the Obamas get involved, floodgates open. Coincidence or intentional? The left's family entertainment agenda is sickening. Do you agree or disagree with that? Hey, here's what life will be like when all the criminal illegal aliens are deported. Just all the best things. Surfing and Spuds MacKenzie and golfing and flying in the air and horses racing and waving the flag and playing football and kayaking, and life is good, right? The future is bright. It's better with the music, but watch it on our Instagram feed. Some of these with the music, we can't play them, but you get the point. Charlie Kirk battling. We have a question of the day on one of our Instagram posts. Are wimpy liberal white women, are they the worst problem in America right now? In some ways, they've been the most easily indoctrinated to believe things that are simply not true, to vote against their own self-interest by, for example, allowing open borders so that criminals could come in and abuse citizens of the United States that would have been easily caught had you walked through the front door, showed your ID to any bouncer to go into any nightclub. Same thing. That's all we're asking, instead of being called Nazis for wanting to do that. It's mainly the liberal white women who are going along with these terrible ideas, terrible policies. You saw Ben Bergquam showing these woke liberal white women, wimpy white women who are voting against their own interest by teaming up and partnering with Antifa in Portland to destroy their communities. Are they the biggest problem? Well, here's Charlie Kirk speaking with a woke white woman, and Stevie Knight reacting to this.
Something happened to Black America since 1965.
You mean the war on drugs?
If that's your contention, that's fine. Again, in order to go to jail for the war on drugs, you have to be dealing drugs, right? Or you have to be caught with drugs. So if you don't
which is one of the main jobs that you can have in a poverty-stricken. If there's no jobs, you're going to do drugs. I mean, you're going to trade drugs because that's the only option.
Y'all don't see how this shit is so disrespectful to black folks. There's nothing else that we can do besides do drugs. They can't help it, bro. How disrespectful is that, dog? We just don't have the capacity to think outside of doing this shit. Been a hell of motherfuckers that's been able to get themselves out that shit. But what comes with selling dope, bro? It's alluring. Hip hop glorifies it. Social media glorifies it. Movies glorifies it. It's glorified in the hood, bro. That's alluring. Gangsters, money, bitches, jury. You get celebrated for fucking going to prison, dog. You go to prison, you get out, dog. Oh, you winning. It's glorified, bro. It's the absolute opposite, right? It just takes a intelligent, commonsensical boy or girl that has a solid upbringing, some good parents around to raise them the right way and mold that mentality, and not just be out here raised by the fucking wolves, dog. That's so disrespectful. We just can't do no better. We just can't get right.
So something happened to Black America since 1965.
You mean the war on drugs?
If that's your contention, that's fine.
As we said, wimpy white woke women might be the biggest problem in America right now. They push some of the worst policies around. Zero critical thinking from that demographic for some reason. More easily indoctrinated, maybe? This built different life. D. Foster says, white liberal women are always telling black folk why we can't win. Yeah, and that's more racist than anything Charlie Kirk ever said. Liberalism, find a cure. Yeah, it's astonishing they've tried to completely reverse what Charlie Kirk's message was of empowerment and getting off of that mental plantation that the Democrats keep poisoning you with. They're jamming poison down your throat is what they're doing. Excuses and anger and hatred, and it's poison that they're selling you. All right, here is comedian Theo Von releasing a statement. And he throws a very interesting joke in here, too. Listen to this.
I would never take my own life. I would never take my own life. Okay? You hear that, Israel? I would never take my own life. I'm grateful to God for his grace in my life. I love my siblings. I have so many friends and people that love me and people that I want to see their children grow up. I'm hopeful that I get to have a wife and meet my own children one day. There's a ton of things in my life that keep me alive and hopeful, right? I want to be able to have an impact in the world. I would never take my own life. I would never take my own life. Okay? You hear that, Israel? I would never take my own life.
Is that a joke or is that was he threatened? Was he told you're going to take my $7,000 and be part of my campaign, or else you're going to have problems? The Esther Project, you saw how all these air quote conservative influencers, these air quote MAGA influencers, have turned into Israel influencers. They chose to be sponsored by that, just like you're sponsored by Nike or Reebok. You're allowed to be sponsored. Just you got to wear the racing patch on your shoulder. You got to tell us who's sponsoring you, who's making you 100,000 air. You know, so when you're advocating certain policy positions, we understand that it's an advertisement, not a legitimate opinion. Well, maybe it could be both, but once you accept the money, then you're a spokesperson. Some people call that a shill. But he drops a joke about, it's the same thing John McAfee did. He got a tattoo on his arm that said whacked. He said, if something happens to me in here, I didn't do it to myself. I'm not suicidal. If something happens, I was taken out in an attack. I was whacked. And he was, allegedly, taken out. So when Theo makes a joke here, let's ask the question. Was he told that you're going to be a part of the Esther Project? And he's like, nah, dog, I'm good. And they're like, no, I don't think you understand. Your reach is too big. You saw what we just did to Charlie, right? You know that wasn't some nut job. Was Theo making a joke or was he not? Danette says Theo just drew a line in the sand. Are we really at this point? I think we are. So we got to determine what it is we stand for and what we're not going to allow. I reached that point a while ago. Just a friendly reminder that Obama shut the government down for 17 days in 2013 so that he could force Obamacare through. Just a friendly reminder in case you don't know. The media won't talk about it, huh? Is this true? Let's ask Grok. Did Obama shut down the government in 2013 to ram through Obamacare? No. It was signed into law 2010, well before the 2013 government shutdown. Ted Cruz demanded defunding or delaying the ACA as a condition for passing a budget, while Democrats and Obama admin refused to negotiate the already enacted law. It led to a stalemate that caused the shutdown. Okay, well, this is a no, but it's a no yes. Don't you mean no yes, then? Seems like both are kind of true here. Yes, the shutdown was tied to Obamacare. Republicans leveraged the budget fight, which caused the shutdown, by insisting on gutting the ACA, and Obama had a firm stance on protecting it, contributing to the stalemate. So while Obamacare was central to the conflict, Obama didn't initiate the shutdown to push the law through. It was already done. The shutdown was more about political brinksmanship over an existing law than forcing its passage. So Obama defending ACA did, in fact, shut down the government in 2013. Not quite. I don't know if you are processing this topic fairly. So put this one under, comments on the post have been limited. That's always a reminder that if you see something like that, you got to be a little suspect of the claim. So we'll take Grok at its word that this was more about the Republicans trying to get rid of the ACA, which led to it. Don't make it seem like Obama wanted to push Obamacare through, so he shut the government down in order to get his way. This is a misrepresentation of what happened. there's a different way to phrase this that wouldn't be quite so wrong. But I can't even leave the comment answering the question from Grok to post it there for other people to see, which should always leave you a little sucker. All right, Cam Higbee. I believe Cam Higbee is part of the Project Esther. Let's ask Grok, is Cam Higbee a Project Esther spokesperson? I think Cam Higbee is. Let's see. No. Okay. Name the people. Pushing Project Esther. I don't know. Grok has changed, and it's not in a good way. Name all the influencers taking the money. Who are the names? Okay. I saw a different list yesterday that may or may not be right. But Cam Higbee was on the other list, which may or may not be right. Anyway, on the Fearless tour here, Cam Higbee gets attacked by a leftist at Union Station in Washington, D.C. He deploys mace in self-defense, and now police, FBI, National Guard are live on the scene.
Fucking night, go home! Go home, Charlie!
No. What was MLK we don't use physical violence. Okay, stop.
Yo! Hey. Some stupid bitch!
Fight anybody. We don't want to fight. Stop.
Here's the light.
Oh, there's music. I hope we don't get flagged for that. The news story we're just covering. We have fair use.
Stop.
Back knocked over and smacked in the face. And then pepper spray.
The fucking night, go home! Go home, Charlie!
What was MLK we don't use physical violence. Okay, stop.
Yo! Hey.
That's assault, brother. Sister. There you go. The pepper spray is nice. That's assault, sister. Button. People are doing this. People are getting out there. Cam Higbee's doing it. Steven Crowder's doing it. All right, this is a conversation with Charlie Kirk about the Quran. You better know what's going on, because there are enclaves in America that are trying to change neighborhoods into Sharia law. What does that mean?
Sure, it says to convert or kill.
Yes, there is another option. So chapter 9, verse 29.
Tax, right?
Yeah. It says directly there that those who don't accept Islam and those who don't believe in Allah and Muhammad, you are to fight them, specifically Jews and Christians and others, until they are humiliated and pay protection money. So you are to convert them or to make them pay protection money. If they don't pay protection money, you can kill them.
How do you get treated by Muslims?
I usually get the death penalty by in Islam.
Do you get a lot of death threats?
Yes, lots of them.
What do they say to you?
I will behead you. I will rape your family.
This is the religion of peace?
Yes. It's very peaceful. Well, once they kill you, it's all peaceful, you know.
Is it true
once they kill you, it's all peaceful? All right, let's take a look at what's happening here in Nevada. There's a packed house at the CCSD board meeting. Parents are pushing to remove all teachers who publicly celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This is the way. We either allow this shit or we don't.
Dozens of community members packed the Clark County School Board meeting Thursday night, some rallying behind teachers.
Dozens of community members.
Others calling for accountability. Now,
he has a fun nasally tone.
This comes after several teachers were removed from their classrooms for comments made about Charlie Kirk's assassination earlier this month. Take a look at the video playing on your screens. This is footage from inside the meeting. As you can see, it was a packed house. Many people, including trustee Lorena Biasati, wearing shirts and pins in support of Charlie Kirk. And as Channel 13 has been reporting, several teachers were removed from classrooms for voicing their opinions online following the death of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. Some of those posts sparked complaints and raised concerns from parents and other community members. Earlier this month, Superintendent Joan Ebert issued a statement condemning political violence and said those teachers are not assigned to a classroom while CCSD reviews the incident. While the trustees did not have an item on the agenda to talk about the comments that were made, dozens of people took to the podium, some protesting the district's decision, others demanding stronger accountability.
Free speech is protected under the First Amendment. If we penalize teachers for exercising their right, we are undermining one of the core principles of our democracy, which, as we all know, is presently willfully under attack.
I urge the board to reinstate the teachers targeted for expressing their opinions.
These teachers, and sadly others, have made it abundantly clear they are not fit to be in a classroom. As of Monday, my son was unenrolled from BCSD.
When you speak and you have an impression and an influence with younger children, you must be held accountable, unfortunately. And that's freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequence.
Now, there's still a lot of questions surrounding the removal of these teachers, and Channel 13 is working to get answers to those questions. And as soon as we learn more, we'll make sure to share that with you guys, both on air and online. For now, reporting from Las Vegas, Giovanni Carrillo. Dozens of community members packed the Clark County School Board.
All right, this is the way. These people are poisoning the brains of our kids. Enough is enough. We got to keep these people away. Hey, here's a reminder that the Brits gave up their firearms in 1997, and less than 30 years later, they're being arrested for Facebook posts. Hey, Canada, we're saying, wake up, pay attention. In America, you better be super aware of this. All right? All right. So an illegal alien in America, we're talking about working with kids and working in positions of power and taking over the country. What is this whole story about?
When Trump said there are illegal immigrants who are registered to vote and are voting in our elections, people said, that's not true. That's ridiculous. No, it's not. When Trump said that there are illegal immigrants who are receiving government assistance, people said, what? No, that's not true. That's ridiculous. Here you have a man who was an illegal immigrant who lied about his educational background and work history to get one of the most prestigious jobs in education in Iowa, making over $300,000 a year.
Nobody checked into this.
And he wasn't even legal. How the hell did he slip through the cracks?
How the hell?
With a criminal record, might I add. Now, you know, people on the internet don't be playing. They be doing their research. So this young lady by the name of Laura Powell, she was able to find that court records show that Robert's birth date as December 18th, 1970. But on every single platform that he used, his birthday, he put something different. Remaining December 18th, but the years were different. So on one, it's 1970. Another one, it was 1978. Another one, it was 1973. He also lied about his origin stories, right? So Roberts is quoted in 2020 referring to Guyana as his birthplace and saying that his father immigrated to the United States in the 80s and his mother in the 2000s. But in 2024, local news got him saying that he actually was born in Brooklyn and he was raised by a single mother. He also said that he had multiple master's degrees and multiple PhDs, but these school records are nowhere to be found. They were also able to find that he was registered to vote as a Democrat in the state of Maryland and voting. I am just blown away. I am literally blown away. And the fact that when ICE was coming to pick him up, he ran in a school vehicle. Okay, they found him in the woods with $3,000 in cash, a loaded gun, and a knife. They have since apprehended him, but it is so crazy because when you live a life like that, right, where he might have been a great superintendent at this school, but once the scam was revealed, he turned into someone that probably people had no idea that was even in him, right? He was working as a superintendent there for years, but now he's hiding in the woods with a gun and a knife and $3,000 in cash in a school vehicle. That is truly who he is, right? Beneath the surface. And that is very dangerous because if somebody would have personally called that out, their life could have been in danger. And he's overseeing the biggest school district in that state. Over 30,000 children. That's crazy. When Trump said there are illegal immigrants who are registered to vote and are voting in our election.
Yeah, not just voting, holding important positions and acting strange. All right, Representative Anna Paulina Luna about the shutdown says all the saber rattling for the Democrats regarding the shutdown is nothing but messaging to help bolster their failing party. They'll cut a deal soon because they can't handle taking the blame for actually shutting down the government. It polls terribly with moderate voters, and they know this. Meanwhile, the American people suffer. And by the way, all that fake outrage over Trump's sombrero post, where was that outrage when Jill Biden compared us to breakfast tacos? Where's the outrage over women and children being trafficked at the southern border? Apparently, anyone who wanted border security was racist. Xenophobic? Shake my head. Yeah, Democrats have the absolute worst messaging. Here's Representative Luna.
I'd have to say one of the grossest things that I've had to witness in Congress is the lack of empathy for the American people as a whole. You have the WIC program that currently provides food and nutrition to women, infants, and children specifically to the tune of 6.7 million individuals rely on this program. And guess what? While Congress is getting a paycheck while we're in a shutdown because they can't put aside their ego and negotiate with the administration, you have people that are genuinely going to starve because of this. So yes, these have consequences when people can't put aside their differences. I would also say that it is factual that they are advocating for healthcare for illegals. Meanwhile, our own people are starving. So if you want to know why people hate politicians, if you want to know why people genuinely can't stand Congress and why we have one of the lowest approval ratings, it's because of stuff like this. It's unacceptable. And the fact is that while Democrats are running down the halls of Congress filming TikTok videos, kids are starving. I'd have to say.
So there you go. The Schumer shutdown continues. Anna Paulina Luna says American tax dollars should never fund health care for illegal aliens. Why do I even have to say this? All right, let's check in again on the journalist who has the nasty shiner being interviewed on Fox. Portland is out of control.
Wow, that is quite a shiner. You all right?
Oh, yeah, I definitely have a black eye. So that's what it's been like covering Portland for the past 4 months. Complete lawlessness.
Wow. They say it's just one city block. Is that even true?
That's not true. So it went from being a war zone to one city block, but it's actually several blocks where that is completely controlled by Antifa affiliated protesters who harass, assault, and threaten anyone who they perceive to be a threat to their cause, including journalists, local residents, and ICE agents. And the Trump administration is absolutely correct in deploying federal troops here because Portland police has completely abandoned this zone. They refuse to go in, and everyone that shows up is on their own.
So it's kind of like Chaz or CHOP was in Seattle. They just, I guess, secede this territory, cede it to Antifa, and they just let everything play out?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So last night I got assaulted and I immediately ran to a Portland police officer, hunted down the suspect, chased her through the streets and said, "This is my assault suspect. Can you guys finally do something?" And I had eyes on her for about 35 minutes. Portland police refused to come in and make an arrest. And I had 3 officers just standing there watching me try to hunt down this suspect. And imagine my anger when I go online after doing all of that about an hour ago. And I see Portland police put out a bolo asking for the public's help in identifying my assault suspect. So that is what it's like on the ground here in Portland. And it's time for a federal crackdown. The Trump administration needs to start treating Antifa like ISIS, the terrorists that they are, and put an end to them here for good.
All right. So Portland police say they're investigating. I guess you had spoken to a dialogue officer. I don't even know what that means, but he did nothing. So I don't even know what he's there for. Does it kind of feel like Portland officials, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but have formed some sort of alliance with Antifa?
Oh, absolutely. I would consider them Antifa at this point. Why not? So their whole agenda is to get ICE out of Portland. So they're trying to shield the public from what's going on down on the ground. But I have 4 months worth of video footage showing warlike scenes happening here. And none of that footage is from 2020. But then you have Portland Police Chief Bob Day saying, oh, the videos that you guys are seeing are from 5 years ago. They're absolutely not. We have the evidence to back it up. And how dare he do that? I'm a journalist. I don't really say this often, but Portland Police Chief Bob Day, you need to resign.
It's like there's nobody. They're asleep at the switch. They've left the captain's chair completely vacant.
You need to resign immediately and now, because you are a horrible leader and it's time for you to go.
Wow, that is quite a shock.
So is it necessary that we bring some people together, ICE and whatnot, to help defend our country from the... I think we're at a war. Like, they've declared a war. That's obvious to me that a war has been declared. And that 40 million people were transported in here illegally and through bogus claims and bogus programs and for bogus methods and reasons. It needs to be cleaned up. That's how I see it. Here's a reminder. Here's when Antifa goons attacked innocent civilians outside of a New York Young Republicans club in 2018. The Proud Boys showed up, a mutual fight occurred, and the goons lost. Soros district attorneys and judges then sent the Proud Boys to state prison, some of them for 5 to 7 years. Imagine going for self-defense, getting thrown in jail, and then demonized to make, oh no, you need to be scared to defend yourselves from these goons. These are goons. These are domestic terrorists. You're going to allow yourself to be invaded, to be abused? Or are you going to get these idiots out of your neighborhoods? I mean, Portland, Canada, UK, America, like, people are finally standing up to this stuff now. Is it time for everyone to stand up? Oh, look at this. We got a special segment now. Take a look. Yes.
Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
All right, let's make a switch to the Unhappy Hour sports show. My God. Oh, you got the Minnesota. You got the bright purple on. Hello, Blake.
Greetings. What's happening?
Hello and howdy. What is the backdrop? Don't you have is that
backdrop is actually the Timberwolves, because I couldn't find a Vikings background. I have a different computer now because mine, without going into the weeds, I don't have all of my files. So without wasting any more time, let's just go with the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Vikings on top.
Now, do you have those pennants that I gave? Or do you have those hanging somewhere? I forget.
That is, they're actually, I got a walk-in closet. They're in there. I'll show you a picture.
Nice. Yeah. Shoot me a picture of that. I had once become a Minnesota fan because I didn't like the fair weatherness of everyone wearing the Bulls and the Yankees and just like the same 10 teams. It's like, oh, you fair weather fans. So I'm like, I'm going to root for Minnesota. They have some of the worst teams, the Timberwolves, the Twins, the Vikings, some great players, some great runs, but they were kind of like the underdog. And I'm like, wait a minute. All of my Cleveland teams are that way. I'm fine. So I sort of adopted Minneapolis, Minnesota in general as a team. So I gave Blake the pennants that I had. So we brought Blake on today because guess what's happening? This week, it's going to be a very interesting game. Now, this isn't the first time that these teams have met, Blake. Didn't they play a few years ago in England as well? The Browns and the Vikings, I think. Do you remember that?
I think it was a game with Case Keenum. I mean, we're going to play every 4 years no matter what, but sometimes there's maybe a strength of schedule game, but that was introduced recently, so I'm not actually sure. I'm just going to guess it was part of the 4-year rotation, and it might have been in London. I think it was a Case Keenum game, if I remember right, when during that playoff run we had.
So this is they're set to play at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England, on the 5th here in a couple of days as part of the NFL's 2025 international games. Additionally, they faced each other October 3rd, 2021. No, hold on. No, that says in Minnesota. Yeah, they played in London in 2017. Twickenham Stadium. These names are hilarious. Key players. So you remember Case Keenum?
Yeah, it was like a 1-year wonder for us. Did a great job, but fell short at the end. Typical Vikings having strong regular seasons and then finding ways to lose in the playoffs. But oh well.
Yeah, look at these teams. You had Case Keenum, 2 touchdowns that day in 2017. In for injured starter Sam Bradford, Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, and we had Deshaun Kaiser, Isaiah Crowell, Duke Johnson, Corey Coleman. Jeez, yeah, you guys won 33-16. How much have you been following this season?
Wait, but you guys beat us in 2021. We got our offensive line. I remember that game because your defensive line pretty much just overpowered our offensive line. I'm guessing that was a Kirk Cousins game. I was at the Metrodome, so you did win that one.
The Browns won 14-7 in 2021. Additionally, yes,
right.
But 2017 was in Europe, so we're matching up again in the same city. It's like a rematch. I don't know. They're trying to get Browns backers over there. I know people who've flown in, and they've been at it for several days now. Do you have any Vikings fans over in Europe that you know of?
No. I'm just going to be watching it on TV.
You got to get up early. So you're an hour behind East Coast. So 8:30 is 9:30. You're not used to being up at 8:30 in the morning, I don't think.
No, the last game sucked. I barely remember it, actually. I watched it, but I was just so tired. Like, I was just like, I might as well have just been stoned the whole time. I probably was stoned too, but it didn't matter. I was just out of it.
David saying he hates to say it, but he does still kind of like, the Vikings over the Browns this weekend. How much have you been following this season, man?
Oh, I follow. I'm a big Vikings fan. I mean, I'm not like a diehard, I don't go too overboard with it, but I did buy this nice new wash shirt, and I do follow the team very closely, but I don't let it get to me too much, like emotionally. I don't. There's a lot of people they drive me nuts. Some of the Vikings fans, they just melt down over the dumbest stuff, and it's weird.
I know. We've been
fanatics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been kids before, and we've allowed sports to run probably too much of our lives in the past. Probably for you a lot longer ago. It still gets me, but I think over the past 10, 15 years, I've really dialed it back. I've needed to. Fandom is fun. It's a nice escape. Like Mike Polk, the comedian, says, yelling at the Browns stadium. Now, look, I know there's more important things in this world than sports, and you are supposed to be my pleasant distraction from those things. But unfortunately, with the Browns, it's not much of a distraction. It's like, I'd turn on the politics. It's less painful because the Browns have been so bad for so long.
Dude, that's tough, man. I mean, I know, because like the Timberwolves, I'm a fair weather fan. I only started really following them in the last 3 or 4 years, and for all those years that they were terrible, I didn't really, pay much attention to. It's like, I'm gonna wait till they're good. Oh, they had a couple good runs with Kevin Garnett, and then I tuned it out. You should have done the same thing with the Browns. You would have saved yourself a lot of pain.
I know, but look, it's part of my brand, like the Unhappy Hour sports show. Like it's what I've done for 14 years. I don't want to stop, but I've definitely changed how I do it. What I've done this year a lot, though, that I haven't committed to doing every time, but I like live streaming the game. I can't show the screen, obviously. I can't have audio because it'll pick up the audio and give me a copyright flag. But I like watching games together with everybody online. And then we're instant reacting. Holy shit, do you see that play? I can't believe they called that out of bounds. We all saw that. That was in bounds. So we're in our global living room here at the sports bar. Yeah, I was going to say, where's your backdrop of the lickety split? What's it called?
Yeah, the lickety split, right.
By the way, Blake, tell people about the shows that you do real quick.
Well, I do Toxically Masculine Tuesday every Tuesday night with Mike Barra and Dr. Brooks Agnew and Trail Boss Steve Doran, and Brian is the fill-in.
Yeah, I'm the Alvaro Espinoza on the bench. I'll jump in. I'll play shortstop or second or third, wherever you need me, coach. I'll play. I play the ball. I hit the ball. I play the ball.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I did a great job last Tuesday filling in for Dr. Brooks' big shoes.
Any update on Dr. Brooks Agnew, by the way?
I think he's out. As far as I've heard, I think it's all looking positive. So hopefully we'll get the update. I'm not 100% if we're going to go Tuesday because Mike's going to be out of town, depending on Brooks' health and all that. But we shall see. But I think everything is looking good.
Good. Yeah, we definitely said a prayer for him after we did the Tuesday show and sent people over to watch the program. And you also do your own show, right? Is that Tuesdays? Is it Tuesday, Thursday at 3? Eccentric Perspective.
That's been the loose schedule. I've got a lot of stuff on my plate recently, so I don't want to commit to too much. And I'm always looking for a different day, different time slot. That's just kind of is a good schedule that works for me for right now, but I'm still in the transition phase of trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing. But I do have a show, or I might rebrand it. I have no idea, but for right now, I do have an eccentric perspective, and it's loosely Tuesday, Thursday, and you can just find the archive on the website, the Next Level News, or subscribe on YouTube and sign up for alerts, and I'll pop up somewhere, I'm sure. Thank you. Yes.
Heck yeah, of course. So this year, your quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, I'm a Buckeye fan. That little asshole and those cheaters, they beat the Buckeyes a couple of times because they were cheaters. And that cheater, J.J. McCarthy, ended up on your team.
We beat you guys like 3 times or something.
We don't need to get into that.
Right.
We're currently number 1. We're the reigning national champion. We look undefeatable at this point. What's that?
Kind of owns you guys, doesn't he?
Well, when they were cheating, yeah. When Harbaugh was there and he was cheating, it was tough to beat a team that was cheating, as it's been proven that the completely tainted asterisk championship of that team.
Isn't college all tainted? I don't think the Buckeyes spend like millions of dollars on like players and portal transfers. I'm not saying they're cheating, but I mean, there's such a disparity between like the elite college teams and then like the middle of the road and so many more.
Hey,
yeah.
My Cleveland Guardians, you can look at their payroll and you can say pretty much the same thing against the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Dodgers. And you're like, God, there's like 6 teams in baseball and all the rest of us are fighting for scraps. Ohio State's
you guys deserve something, right? Because after Cleveland and you had the bad years with even Cavaliers have been good, but for years they were bad. And then the Guardians, they were good, but they lost a lot of heartbreaking playoff games or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got to rock the tribe hat, of course. We got knocked out of the playoffs yesterday by the Tigers. A tough run, but we had a good go of it. But JJ McCarthy, look, he's your quarterback, but he missed all of last year. And then what happened this year? He started but got quickly injured. Is that what it was? Started game 1.
Yeah, he's got some kind of I think it's an ankle sprain or something. He's going to be out for a couple more weeks probably. Well, I think they're having a bye after this Sunday, and then I think he might be eligible to play the week after the bye, the way I see it. So,
well, that means you get Carson Wentz for the 3rd straight start in relief of the injured J.J. McCarthy. What have you seen from Carson in the past couple of games? Because I'll tell you what I've seen. I've seen the fact that Justin Jefferson is not getting me the points that I'm hoping for. Neither is Jamar Chase in my fantasy league. I have the 2 best receivers in the game, and neither of them are producing anywhere near what they're capable of doing. It's been dramatically impacting my fantasy football needs and standards and weekly expectations for sure. So what is going on with your offense over there now?
It's a mess. Our offensive line is a disaster. We've got a ton of injuries, and that's been a problem. And JJ was running for his life, and I'm sure Wentz is going to have a worse time of it this weekend. As we've got our superstar stud left tackle back, Christian Darrisaw, and then we've got I think our right guard Will Fries, and then the left guard is as a backup. The center is a 3rd stringer. Actually, I think they had to like train somebody. Like they had to use like 3 of their linemen and see if they could find somebody who could snap the ball and play center for this game. But it's hard to get like healthy linemen, especially when you're overseas. So that's another problem. And then right tackle, our Brian O'Neill, Pro Bowler, he's out. He's got some, I don't know, he's sprained PCL or something. He might be out a few weeks. So our offensive line is in shambles. Carson Wentz did manage to throw 350 yards last week, so I think. So I'm surprised he didn't get more yards out of JJ. But yeah, you're in a lot of trouble with Chase. Just kind of want to stop playing fantasy football. I loved it for years, but there's so many damn injuries and so
I know, dude. Okay. Winning a fantasy football championship is one of the hardest things you can do. Look, if you're super diligent about the waiver wire, you can make some shrewd moves and take a decent team and always be competitive. But really staying on top of all that stuff, it's like a next level thing. I like the dynasty. You kind of get your team, you're sort of set. There's not a lot of free agent happenings going on. You need a super deep bench. But yeah, he's just not getting in the end zone like he used to. And yeah, when Joe Burrow goes down, you're like, oh shit, like you can't move the ball at all. I don't know. Jamar Chase is usually good for 140 yards and a touchdown or two. And it's hard to win a fantasy football championship. It's one of my favorites.
It's a tough sport, man. It's a guilty pleasure for real, and the injuries are problematic. So it's kind of weird when they're like playing overseas. Like, what are they trying to promote over there? Do we really want to bring American football to the rest of the world? I mean, the injuries are just destroying the quality of the sport. And then some of these guys they're out for a year. I mean, it's not just whatever the quarterbacks, but I mean, yeah, with Chase, Joe Burrow, and it's even like. Last week, you had Neighbors going down for the Giants. You've got Hill going down for the Dolphins. You're talking about two of the best receivers in the game that are going to be out for the rest of the year.
And let's not forget about DeJuan Jones, the Browns' offensive left tackle. The player we were up against dove at his knee and blew up his knee. I don't know why the NFL isn't watching and guarding against knee hits. You should be kicked out of the league if you're dirty like that. When Nick Chubb, the Browns running back, Minka Fitzpatrick dove at the knee. If you did that in your Steelers practice, you'd be kicked off the team. But they allow it in games, and what they should do is when you make a dirty ass move that takes somebody out, that player needs to be suspended for as long as the injured player until they can recover and come back. They need to start protecting the players. And they'll say, well, it was all about concussions. We can't aim at the head, so now we're aiming at the knees. I go, shut the fuck up. You aim at the midsection. You tackle at the midsection, you spin and you take them down. Nobody taught these people how to tackle. I don't know. I don't buy it. And way too many injuries. Even Mac Jones yesterday, he was dinged up and he's in for Brock Purdy. It's a lot, but it's a glorious game. I played football for a long time. I love it, but I've been injured and I've missed time and it's tough. I don't know. It's a glad.
I love the game too, but I mean, it's so violent. And when you look at the injury reports at the end of the year, and it's amazing how many guys have like serious injuries. You know, Achilles and ACLs and concussions, and like our center, he just got 2 concussions like 3 weeks or 2 weeks apart, and it's his 5th overall. He's a Pro Bowler. He's great. He was expected to come in and protect JJ. He's been great as his grading. But I mean, I don't know if this guy's ever going to play football again.
The Browns are missing our middle linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. This dude was like targeting as like an all-pro player for a while, and he had head injury issues, and he kind of hinted he might be coming back. But yeah, I mean, it takes players out quick sometimes. Nick Chubb in his prime, like you just never know when it could happen. Have you been following the Browns and some of their young players or Myles Garrett in our defense? Because our defense has been keeping us in games. That's for damn sure. We just haven't been getting a lot of offensive help. By the way, David's saying if you can bet on something, you never know what could happen. Blake, I mean, you lived in Vegas, right? So secondarily, more now about the Browns defense, but talk about the gambling component first, since Dave went there.
Well, that's another one of my guilty pleasures is gambling on football. It's been since I moved to Vegas in '99, but I'd say I gamble way more now because you're in Tennessee, it's legal. Oh, and I just pull up my phone. I got a FanDuel account, I got an MGM account, and I use them both a lot. I do not recommend that for other people. I tend to bet, $10, $25, kind of stay in that range for games. I have fun with it. I enjoy it tremendously. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I have kind of, mixed success, but a lot of people are going to lose their ass on that stuff. So I don't recommend it for everybody, but if you're going to play, just kind of keep it reasonable, have some fun with it. Don't get carried away with it, because it'll there's a lot of people that lose their ass, lose their house, ruin their lives over that stuff. So not an endorsement, but a ton of fun for me. And I actually had a really good weekend last weekend, hitting a few parlays. I like the player props, but those are usually hard to hit. So.
Yeah, I did this. We're on week 5. I'm 43-22 overall on the year. It's not too bad. Just straight up pick'em games. David says the games are great when there's no interference. Yeah, I know. Is there even such a thing these days? But yeah, 43-22 is pretty good. My week last week sort of sucked, but yeah, I've tried to avoid the gambling a little bit. But
I'm gonna look mine up. I can't remember what I got.
Blake looking his up there. Make sure you check out Blake. It's the eccentric perspective on all the channels, right?
Yeah, it should be something like that. Just kind of focused on a few. Yeah, YouTube, X, but yeah.
Good.
I don't know. I think it's different when you're going with the points, or it should be a lot easier to pick straight up winners and losers. But my record's probably similar to yours, Brian. I just don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, last week I was only 7-9, not so good. But the previous weeks I was 13-3, and then 10-6. So yeah, you never know. Have you been following this Browns team? Back to the Browns again. A lot of youth and that defense in general. The defense has been pretty incredible, with Myles Garrett anchoring the defense that's keeping us in every game. I don't know how concerned you are about them, but they're basically leading the league in a lot of categories. And if we had some competent offensive play, maybe a lot of these games would be turning out differently. We're close until we're not. You can't expect the defense to do everything, but even the points we're giving up are on very short fields because of the defense. So I don't know. Have you been following the Browns D, Myles Garrett, and the new guys and stuff?
Well, I know that's what's kept you in games. That's pretty much it. You got a 40-some-year-old quarterback, Joe Flacco, and it's not easy. So your team is a little off balance, but yeah, your defensive line is outstanding, and it's going to be a major challenge for the Vikings with their just beat up O-line, and just trying to whoever they can grabbing guys off the street to play center. Or what have you. That's a major concern. So,
well, I'll tell you, we did the same thing. We had to make a trade during this week. Our backup tackle has been so bad. We traded for Cam Robinson with Houston to maybe fill in for the lost left tackle, DeJuan Jones, with a season-ending leg injury. I met DeJuan Jones' mother.
We grabbed him last year. That was our left tackle last year when Christian Darrisaw went down. We got Cam Robinson for whatever, 5th round pick or whatever.
And he was okay. He filled in. He was okay.
Yeah, he's a mediocre starter. He's not bad, but he's certainly there's a huge disparity in talent with some of those linemen. So having a guy who's even a C+ is so much better than when you got
an F.
The other guys that are just like turnstiles. They just get worked, and they have no chance to beat some of these elite pass rushers. They constantly need help from the tight end or whatever. So they just get run over. It's bad news. Get eaten alive by Myles Garrett, who's quite a force. And you got that other kid from Michigan. I know you hate Michigan, but he could be presenting problems with our interior O-line.
Graham, defensive tackle. He is a game wrecker. And we have Carson Schlesinger at middle linebacker out of UCLA. He's probably going to be rookie of the year. They're comparing him to some of the best middle linebackers that have played this game already. He just has a nose for it. He tackles. He takes great angles. He accelerates into tackles. I mean, he's 5th in the league in run stops at 14. Like, the guy's basically, our general manager saved his job with an incredible draft class. And that's not to mention any of the 2 quarterbacks that we took, but we're going to get to see Dylan Gabriel. He played 6 years in college. If there's any rookie that's ready to take some snaps, I mean, this guy played for Oklahoma. He played for Oregon. He played in the championship round, the college football playoffs. He's small, but so was Drew Brees. Let's go. Baker Mayfield's not the biggest, but he's damn near lighting the league on fire. What do you think of Dylan Gabriel? What do you expect with a young quarterback over there? We've been searching for 30 years to find somebody serviceable. Maybe this guy could be it, but Joe Flacco wasn't working out.
No, you had Baker, and then you let him go to appease, was it Odell Beckham Jr. or whatever?
Yeah,
and he
his
had
dad.
injured. Won't repeat that. But anyway, I don't know a lot about the kid. I know he's going to be in for a hell of a tough time. He's going to go against the Brian Flores defense, and we also have a very good defense. We're missing one of our best. We're missing a couple of our top linebackers, Andrew Van Ginkel, who's a stud on the outside, and then Blake Cashman in the middle, which we could really use because I think it's going to be pretty obvious the Browns are going to mostly run the ball, and so it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a challenge on the front seven to what you think this Gabriel kid from Oregon is going to start slinging it around.
That's what he does. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see.
I mean, you don't play for the Oregon Ducks without slinging the ball and putting up mega numbers. Like,
yeah, every rookie quarterback is going to have to. They're going to try to work him in. They're going to try to run the ball and if the Vikings can stop the run, then maybe he can start throwing the ball, and we'll see. But that is a tremendous challenge to go on the road in London and then try to go on your first game against a very aggressive defense who disguises their coverages very well. So Brian Flores is one of the best in the league. So
at coverage disguise. Yeah, I think you're going to probably see some of the bootleg stuff you used to see out of Baker Mayfield. Flacco is just like a statue. He didn't move fast enough. But Quinshon Judkins out of Ohio State, man, that's a real running back there. Very eager to see his career progress. Having to fill in for Nick Chubb, who, had a couple injuries and we moved on from. Marion saying, okay, she's new to watching football. She's here in the TNAM Daily Show saying, why are all the pads so tiny now? Are they as sturdy as pads from years past when players look like giants wearing them? Blake, that has really changed, hasn't it? There's a lot of players you don't even see knee pads, thigh pads. If there are they're like maxi pads. It's like, are you even wearing any pads? It's kind of weird to me.
It is strange. I mean, I'm assuming they've made some, technological improvements with the equipment. That's why it's so small. But yeah, absolutely. Like late 80s, like the mid 90s, like they had they were huge. Even the helmets, the giant shoulder pads, the neck braces, so I don't know if anyone's done a study on the injuries. That's the worst part of the game because it ruins the brand, and it makes me wonder if it's going to be feasible going into the future when there's just is this modern day like gladiator games? They're not killing each other, but I mean.
Well, they saw Conor McGregor. He announced that it's a done deal. They're going to do MMA at the White House now. It's like Idiocracy. It's happening.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I like it. I think it's cool. We're having a 250th birthday party.
I know, it's awesome, but why do we need a gladiator fight on the front lawn of the White House? And then someone's got to lose, right? So like, oh, great, let's watch somebody just get their head smashed in. Yeah, America! Like, yeah, I don't know. It seems stupid. It is. It's Idiocracy. I'm insulted by it, but I mean, whatever. It's. I'm not gonna.
I love the competition. I like getting back to it. I don't want to feed someone to a tiger unless it's Fauci. Don't get me wrong, but. Yeah, I take your point. David says he doesn't like our chances with the rookie. All right. Well, I think our offense will do better under
5'11"
than we were under Flacco.
5'11", you're going to be getting the balls tipped. You're going to be trying to reach over that defensive line. I don't know about that, Brian.
Well, we'll find out. And I was going to say, I don't know how you plan on watching, but if we go live and watch the game on a stream, do you want to jump in? I don't know if you have plans. You're going to be at a sports bar.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to be in such a rough shape. We'll see. Maybe I will. Maybe for a cameo. I can't see myself sitting there for.
Well, no. It's just while we're watching the game, we're also
right. But like this room here, this wouldn't be ideal. I got a 75-inch Sony in the living room. I'm going to watch on versus here. I just have a computer, so I wouldn't be able to cover.
Well, the one thing,
but I can show up for halftime or after post game, something like that.
All right, let me keep you in mind for that because
if I was in the same room with you, it'd be different. If there was a big screen and hanging that,
but we do have multiple people jump it. We're all watching in our own universe, But then it's like we all get to, oh, that play. Did you see that block on the backs? Like, I don't know. It's kind of fun. You have an open invitation. We'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
I would say I don't know if you have the capability to do headphones of some sort for the volume, because the one thing is we can't have the volume bleeding into the feed, or else Google will take it down. But as long as you can have the feed, and that's what I try to do, or I'll put it on mute and I'll just watch it, and then I'm commentating in real time. I get to be my own voice. It's what I've done this year for most of the Browns games. It's been fun. So open invitation.
I hear you. I'll
consider.
Appreciate the invite. Maybe halftime and post game, but probably not during game.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
All right. Well, I don't know if we had any more to talk about on the Vikings-Browns game at the moment, Blake. Any other thoughts about any? Oh, the spread. It looks like, what is this, +1? NFL, what's +1? Hang on.
+1. That is weird.
I'm not, what is the line? Let me ask Grok.
I'll find it. It's 3.5. Vikings are a 3.5 point favorite.
What do you like on that? Do you like giving the points?
Tough one, man. That is a really tough spread, man. I like 2.5. I'd love it.
I'm seeing the spread between 3.5 and 4.5, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's a tough one. I don't like those hooks, man. It's a tough one. So I might just take the Vikings on the money line or something, but it's going to be a tough game, man. I don't know how. I expect there's probably to be a lot of big defensive plays. So I really couldn't tell you who it's going to be the over/under. In a way, it could go either way. Vikings is a slight favorite.
By the way, Marion's saying it would be funny to watch us watching our favorite teams in real time while they're in England, while we're at 9:30 in the morning, an ungodly hour.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. It's not like I haven't been up for kegs and eggs before, but then again, that was half my life ago. So I'm probably a different cat.
How's that work out? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, let's start drinking at 11 in the morning. That'll be great. Yeah.
How does that work out?
Drunk by 4 in the afternoon. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, that
great
happens.
idea.
Marion says it would be funny to watch. All right, what about this, Blake? The over/under 30, call it 36 or 36.5. Do you like the over or the under at 36?
I hate it both ways, man, because there's just really no way to say. Like, I think it should be obviously a strong defensive game, but I think there could be big enough plays on defense where they might set themselves up for easy scores, or if not, just outright, pick sixes, scoop and six, whatever they call it. But that's really one of the toughest ones to bet on, I would think.
Yeah,
I'm kind of like Vikings money line. I don't like giving up 3.5. Yeah, that's a weird one. Or I would just take it on a teaser parlay.
Yeah, it says ESPN analytics have Minnesota 62.6 chance of winning, but we'll see. That's why you play any given Sunday. Sunday.
So what do you think about your Shadur? Is he in that interview and what have you? Should he be, upset to be snubbed that he deserves to be the number 2, or is he being immature, or what do you think?
I give this kid a lot of grace. I defended Baker till the cows came home. I never liked Deshaun. I ran him out of town. He's still on our team, by the way. He's still on our roster. He could theoretically play this year. I don't know. I'm just giving the kid a bunch of great. Why wouldn't he want to play? You draft me into a team. Yes, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. But some of the Rex Ryan stories coming out, like from behind, it's like he's not working hard enough. He's not learning the playbook as fast as he needs to. He's not putting extra time. Now, I don't know if any of that's true or not. I don't care. He was a fresh starter in Colorado. It wasn't really a pro system. It was kind of designed to his skill set. He's not used to reading reading the defenses, the terminology. He's developmental. That's why he went in the 5th round. Some people said, "Oh, he'll go number 2." It's like, no, he has some skills. We see that, but the game of football is played between your temples first. It's not between the end zones. It's between the temples. That's not to say he's a dummy per se. Although when you listen to him talk, it's like, buddy, were you pounding the Tylenol or something? Like, how did we end up? And that's just maybe the speed with which he talks. I don't know. You hear Lamar Jackson give an interview, you're like, oh lordy, this guy, he's tough to understand, and I don't know how many brain cells are clicking around up there, but he understands the game of football.
Vince Young, yeah.
So look, point is, I'm just giving these people grace. I don't care if he wants to be second string. Why wouldn't you want to be second string? I'm not gonna, I hate that kid, or doggone it, they're just keeping him out because he's black. You're like, oh, this is so stupid. It's all stupid. So I don't really engage and entertain the stupidity. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for Dylan Gabriel. I was rooting for Joe Flacco. What do you make of it?
I mean, it's just immature. I don't have like a big opinion of it. It's kind of a who cares, but it is childish and it looks stupid. But he did it. But I guess these are the kind of little lessons that you learn as you stumble through your progression as an NFL quarterback. So.
And when you say did it, you're referring, for the people who don't know, he was asked about wanting to be the third string quarterback, and he gave 2 different interviews, right? 2 different replies.
I only saw the piece where he was like miming. He was like, I don't know if he was upset or what he was trying to do, but it was trying to be funny, but it was kind of.
Well, he sort of got in trouble for like saying, I want to be the number 2 quarterback, or like, I want. And it's like, well, of course, that's what you want your players. You want your players to say, yes, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. And then it's like, oh, the blowback against him trying to like, well, I would let you. He's asked very specific questions. Then when he answers, it makes it seem like Shadur's pushing this stuff. He's just answering what he's being asked. So like,
I should say it, right? It's just be like, oh, okay, it doesn't matter. I'm just here to help my team win, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Give a boring answer. And he should know better because his, father played in the NFL, but it's just like it's empowered him to be a cocky instead of like how to be a professional. But what do I know? I don't know. I'm just very surface level, just seeing little clips here and there. So I really don't know that much about the kid, but saw him fall in the draft like we all did. And you look at the maturity issues. I don't know about his work issues, and we'll see if he turns out. I hope it all works out. So I don't know. I don't have an axe to grind, but okay, that's all I got.
He was asked about his readiness to play in the NFL, and he responded, that's not nothing, in my place to answer, but I know for sure if you see the quarterback play in the league right now, I know I'm capable of doing better than that. So, it's whatever. He's saying he's got the skills to play with the number 30 quarterback in the league. All right. Well, you believe in your talent. I have no problem with that. I'm fine. So like he gets dragged across the train tracks for that. So they ask him more stuff. He goes, it's like, yeah, okay, well, if I'm going to get in trouble for talking, here you go. I'm not going to talk. So anyway, I'm rooting for all the kids, but I guess he probably has a little bit more to get caught up on. So I have no problem with him sitting on the bench. I mean, Aaron Rodgers sat on the bench. Tom Brady sat on the bench. A lot of the greatest have not been thrown to the wolves immediately. So give him some time. Dylan Gabriel played in college for 6 years. Give him the ball. He's a 3rd-round pick. Find out what you got. What are we waiting on? Like, all the other rookies are contributing for the Browns and kicking ass. Maybe this quarterback could too. So that's how I feel about Shedeur. I know it's a national story, but for now, I'm just team Dylan Gabriel. All right, Blake. Well, that's all I had for today. Just your favorite team playing my favorite team in a foreign country, which is a lot of fun. Thanks for jumping on. We'll obviously let you get back to your life. That is, unless you wanted to just unpack the rest of the stuff that we're going to be flying through. I'm sure you might have a million things to do, but either way is fine.
I do have errands and things to do. If you have one real specific thing I could comment on, I could probably do it. So I could just say something controversial that's going to get you banned off of YouTube. Feel free. It's great to see everybody though, and Kenneth and everybody, and Holy Hoax and Miriam and you guys.
Snap!
Brian.
Blake trying to throw smoke bombs down the hallway.
Here's the light.
What did you make of this event? Going to the ground, hit my face. This lady got pepper sprayed, and then people are trying to spin it around and call it whatever they're calling it. Did you happen to catch this one?
I think there's been a few clips, whether like radical leftists or Antifa or something.
Oh yeah,
getting pushback, and no, I'm all for it. If you're a masked terrorists and you're just going after innocent people, then I don't mind watching them get their ass kicked. So
Any thoughts on City of Toronto workers cooperating with Antifa, Portland cooperating with Antifa? You're seeing it across the country. They're officially domestic terrorist organization now, finally. I mean, do you think ICE is this totalitarian thing that's going to come for us once they're done getting rid of illegals? Or do you feel like we've been invaded as a nation and it's time that we push back? Because there's several different trains of thought on the topic.
Right. I don't believe I have my own problems with the Trump administration and some of the people that in the cabinet members, but I don't think ICE is here to, go after us after they're just setting the precedent. No, we're invaded. We got millions of illegal aliens that should not be here and they need to be removed. I don't understand the resistance. It's something it's a job that they need to clean up. And it's not easy, but someone's got to do it, and it's going to be ICE, and let them do their job. And if they're going to interfere, then they need to be removed. I wish they could just have an honest dialogue about it. I don't know why the leftists are just so hell-bent on standing up for people that are sucking their tax dollars away. They don't even know these people, and they're acting like they're like great humanitarians or something by like giving these people a free ride in our country. And we don't even know if they're vetted, if they're criminal. There's so much stupid stuff. Like this is it's uncalled for. We celebrate immigrants coming into this country, but doing it the right way. And the leftists have just lost their minds. So.
Blake, we did an interview on January 6th in Washington, D.C., where the lady said that her friend was this guy in this video that Steven Crowder's talking to here. They play this clip of the leftist assassination here.
When was this? Summer of Love, George Floyd riots.
Summer of Love, George Floyd riots.
Aaron Danielson.
Aaron Danielson. Do you remember when that lady said that her friend Aaron Danielson was killed? And we need to have more conversations here, but Crowder's like, they're leaving out the political violence that the left is committing in their crime statistics. And then they're lying, trying to say, oh, it's right-wing violence. It's the exact opposite.
Shot point blank dead because he was a Trump voter. And the man, Reinhold, it was Michael Reinhold who shot him, told the cops, I got the Trump supporter dead. We agree that's political violence? Yes, of course. Not a single one of these places cites it. It doesn't exist. They come from two places. TPP, the Prosecution Project, or a Cato study, which is reflected by the CSIS as well, where Cato tried to say there's 6 times the amount of domestic terrorism deaths. TPP said right-wing general violence. By the way, all of them agree that in the last year, since Donald Trump has been elected, even now they agree 2 to 3 times more leftist violence than right-wing violence.
He goes on here, Blake. We could, you're on a time crunch. I don't want to keep you too long, but Crowder's out there having more conversations, and they're lying about the crime statistics. They're lying about all of it, really. And so it's hard to unpack what's going on when so many people are so convinced of things that are simply not true.
Yeah, it's a mess. I mean, I'm glad he's out there trying to communicate, have reasonable dialogue with people, open their minds. But I mean, we saw Charlie Kirk was doing the same thing, and they shot him for it, allegedly, without going down the rabbit hole. But it's pretty bad stuff.
Yeah, we did cover that on Toxically Masculine Tuesday. All the different theories of who did it, or was there a trap door? Is he still? Was this like I said,
Brian, you must accept the official story. There was nothing there.
The more videos
the FBI will present all the evidence, Brian. They got everything, and you're just trying to be a grifter. That's what you're doing. You're just trying to monetize off the grift over a dead man.
Blake, luckily our FBI was able to get all the information and we got the arrest. So just trust us.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my Cash Patel, everybody. David up in Canada says he's seen some things about Antifa having sleeper cells in the Canadian military. Oh, yeah, we better be ready across the board. Blake picked his area for a strategic reason, strategic relocation, and we should all be aware in case the struggle occurs.
Get out of Tennessee. No, I don't care. Whatever.
Yes.
Get some good patriots down here, right? We'll
leave it at that for
defend the volunteer state. All right.
Yeah, I mean, look, are we officially neighbors? We're neighbors, right?
We're not too far away.
Yeah.
I could drive to your house by evening. Yeah. You're in a different time zone. That's weird.
It's a tank of gas, right? A tank of gas.
Not even. Yeah.
Yeah, I drive a bigger vehicle, I think. So it drinks the gas 20 miles a gallon. Yours is double that, right?
I actually have a new vehicle.
I'm sure you researched it and got a good one, right?
It's all right. I mean, it's newer, so it should have less problems. But it wasn't. I basically got robbed at the dealership, or I did it to myself. I went in there and they priced me out of the. They gave me the repairs was like way more expensive than the car was worth, and then I was like, oh, I'm stuck, and we don't have to pay the bill. You just trade it in and get another car. Oh, okay. Well then, anyway. It was like, do I really want to spend $6,000 into a $5,000 car so I can drive it around another 50,000 miles, or trade it in? So I did. So,
wow.
Anyway, my beloved TDI Volkswagen with 40 miles a gallon diesel is now somewhere in the market. I don't know. Maybe somebody's out there got a good deal on it, I hope.
Right. Indeed.
Anyway.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep going through the news stories here, Blake. I suppose we will let you bounce back to your day. Tell us again about where to find you so everybody can check you out.
I just follow me on Twitter X, TV's Blake Wally, because right now I'm in transition, trying to figure out getting a schedule lockdown. So I don't know exactly what the schedule is going forward, but if you want to subscribe, sign up for alerts. You'll find it somewhere, sometime. Appreciate you, Brian, and everybody. Great to have you guys in chat, and we'll see you around.
Yep. Marion says, hook, line, and sinker. You got another car. It happens. It's happened to all of us. My Blazer exploded. The shop I took it to, he happened to be selling a 4Runner. I said, I'll take it. And I got to get something. Yeah. All right.
Right. It was time to move on. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a racket too, man. It's not ideal.
I know. Well, all right. Let's put a fork in this for now. Like I said, we'll be.
Yeah, I had to buy an automatic, Brian. Nobody makes manuals anymore. It's dead. It's a lost art. So now I'm middle-aged and I'm driving an automatic transmission, like
a schlub.
Click, click. Yeah, well, whatever. I guess that's the way it goes now.
Yeah, I've always been automatic. Somebody tried to teach me manual once. I didn't do very well. I get it. You depress it, you shift I understand the concept. I just it didn't come natural, and I had no practice with it. And I was kind of
They've lost all the advantages they used to have anyway. So
there you go. Technology marches forward. All right, Blake, the technology will be there on Sunday. I will most likely be streaming. And if I am, I'll most likely shoot you an email link in case you felt like jumping in for any particular reason.
Halftime post game. Hey, Nimbus, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, he's ready for his lunch right now. He's yelling at me.
All right, well, Skull Vikings. See you Sunday.
Go Browns. Take care, Blake. Thanks for jumping in. Talk to you later.
All right, bye.
There he goes, everybody. TV's Blake Wally. Let's get back to Steven. Oh, wait, let me do the outro. Thank you for watching this special segment of...
Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching The Unhappy Hour.
The Unhappy Hour. That was cool. That was fun. And we'll see if Blake comes in this weekend. That'd be neat. All right. Yeah, Crowder's just laying this out here. They keep lying about left-wing, right-wing violence. It's very dangerous. It's very deceptive. It's absolutely incorrect. We all know. Whoop, Nimbus, don't step on my computer, please. So here we go. Listen to Crowder talk about this, and that was the guy who was referenced in our documentary, declassified, the unreleased J6 interviews from our January 6th Man on the Street that Blake filmed when I interviewed people. Kenneth says, Nim busted. Trash Panda says, Nimbus. Hi, Nimbus. Everybody's saying hello to you. All right, let's get back to Mr. Crowder, I presume. Mr. Crowder. Bum, bum, bum.
But that was never included. In other words, when they say there's more right-wing political violence, that's not included as left-wing political violence. You know what else isn't? All the riots, the billions in damages, the 37 dead during the George Floyd riots. The thousands of officers assaulted, the thousands of casualties, that's not included. You know what else is included? Darrell Brooks in Waukesha, Wisconsin, who ran people over in the parade out of an exclusive defund the police, Black Lives Matter, anti-white, black supremacist ideology. That's why he killed them. That's not included. I could go through example after example that where you would just as clearly agree that is political violence. I'm not trying to pick a gray one. It exists nowhere. Why do you think that wasn't included? Why do you think the examples that I gave you, none of them were included? But any example of white on black violence, even if it was a Democrat voter, was listed as right wing. Any attack on a government building, even if it was Antifa, was listed as right wing. Why do you think something that clear
was not included?
Would it surprise you if the authoritative source that's being cited, the prosecution project, the author of it, was actually arrested himself on January 20th protesting Donald Trump, committing crimes, and that entire day was also omitted?
Probably not.
A member of Antifa who said we are an organized group and we confront fascists. That's the source that gets disseminated across. Seems like there might be a bias there. And these sources are being used to victim blame those on the right now. So the two sources in the data are the prosecution project, that's what's cited in The Economist and NPR, and Cato. These are the ones where they say, hey, right-wing violence is more prevalent. I'm sure you've heard that. Let me show you what they don't include in the data, because like you said, people speak differently than data. Remember this in Portland?
When was this?
Summer of Love, George Floyd riots. Aaron Danielson, shot point blank dead.
Yep, he's in our documentary. We talked to his friend who says, I was there, like that happened right by me, and it's crazy. Good to see Crowder back out there having conversations. Emma Mitchum says, breaking, Elon Musk says the Southern Poverty Law Center is guilty of incitement after listing Charlie Kirk in their Hate Watch newsletter. Just one day before he was killed, these aren't watch lists, they're hit lists. That's what I'll say. They're hit lists. Button. Mm-hmm. 100% agree. Just when I thought I was done, this was kind of emotional. This was there might be music on this. I might just play it anyway.
People are ordering Charlie's drink because people would ask him, like, what do you get from Starbucks? And it's funny because Starbucks
is a liberal company, but, at least we take our win. Something that's coffee, but he would get the same drink, a Mint Majesty tea with 2 honey.
That he gets that so he doesn't lose his voice when he's speaking. And so now people are ordering the drink, saying their name is Charlie Kirk.
And someone wrote on
so you don't lose your voice.
So you don't lose
poetic thing I've ever heard in my life. Because now
we carry his voice like it's. Yep. He would drink that so he wouldn't lose his voice, and we better be resolute in this moment. Here's Will Kane.
Our police identified the suspect as 35-year-old Jihad al-Shami.
This is a Manchester synagogue attack. 35-year-old from Syria. Became a UK citizen a couple of years ago.
He's being described as a British citizen of Syrian descent. Be very curious. At what point did he migrate or his family migrate to England? He allegedly rammed his car into a crowd in Manchester before going on a stabbing spree at a local synagogue, killing 2 people while seriously injuring 4 others. The attack came as worshippers were observing Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar. Police there declaring the assault, obviously, a terrorist attack. All new this hour, police identified the suspect as 35-year-old Jihad al-Shami.
His name is Jihad. It's a Syrian named Jihad, who came to England to harm people. Hey, speaking of England, where the Browns and Vikings are playing, let's check in. How are they doing?
Hiya. Sorry?
Don't film.
You can't take pictures and you can't film.
You're so wrong, madam. I am right. I can film because I'm doing it right now. There's nothing you can do. You understand that?
Can you just turn it
Madam,
off?
we don't live in authority.
I have been advised.
Well, whoever advised you is wrong.
Right, well, can you turn your camera off?
How dare you point at me and tell me what to do? Madam, you don't just tell people what to do. You're a PCSO.
What do you mean I'm just a PCSO?
This isn't Nazi Germany. This isn't North Korea. You can't just tell people what to do. Excuse me. Look, I'm a member of the public. You got to respect me. I pay your salary. Hello, this madam's trying to tell me what to do, and I'm very offended.
Why are you shouting?
Because she started shouting at me.
England is battling for their soul right now. It's authoritarian or it's not. So they're saying just less than 6 hours after the deadly terrorist attack against a synagogue in the UK, radical leftists have begun celebrating deporting them all. Not sure the context of this, where it's at, when it's at. Palestine flags flying in. Signs about Gaza and stuff. There's cities that are predominantly Muslim across the UK now or non-British descent in many parts of Manchester, England. 60% of the prison system consists of migrants rather than those who are British citizens or ethnically British on an annual basis. UK has 150,000 illegal aliens into their nation, many of whom are not screened, meaning they could be affiliated with terrorist organizations, gangs, etc. And they're trying to figure out what to do in England. So Jack Unheard here says, here's a reminder. Cracker Barrel went back to normal. Netflix is losing millions of customers. People are getting fired for celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination, all because of X. Man, this place is powerful. Tucker Carlson having another important conversation.
Ask me, am I really sure why Netanyahu, who is an absolutely disgusting warmonger, who has dragged us into terrible wars, who is committing massive war crimes, why he gets 57 standing ovations in the U.S. Congress? Is it the AIPAC lobby, the Israel lobby? Is it blackmail by Israel? Because there's no doubt a lot of credible claims of Epstein and more.
Blackmail.
Is it direct bribes? Is it fear of American politicians? Is it the mainstream media, which for
lying legacy media,
a lot of reasons owned by a lot of billionaires that tend to be rather ardent Zionists? Is it the large Christian Zionist vote base, which is also a real thing? To tell you the truth, none of it really adds up.
I agree.
In full, because this is not in America's interest.
You know, it's amazing that trying to stand up for your own country to be America first will get you named, get you labeled bad names. So, I don't know, seems kind of common sense to me. You don't want to prioritize your own country. Here's Tucker on Megyn Kelly.
Who's got to be the single most moderate person on the question of Israel, who said 100 times and means it, by the way, I like Israel. I'm not against Israel. You know, but maybe it's not a great idea to get sucked into one of their wars. We've done that. Let's not do it again. Nazi! Immediately called her an anti-Semite and won't stop. Meanwhile, the actual anti-Semites, and there certainly are some online, never get criticized by Bibi or anyone else in his orbit. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? I wonder why that is. When you have actual anti-Semites, you know, doing videos making fun of Auschwitz, but they get a pass? Maybe things are not quite as they seem. But normal people who harbor no hate toward anyone or try not to are immediately slandered in a way that makes it, in some cases, hard for them to have jobs if they deviate even a little bit. So what's the effect of this? Not that it's up to me to tell Israel how to run its propaganda campaigns, but the effect, just noticing, is that it turns allies into enemies. You can agree on 98% of things, but if you think maybe it was a bad idea to bomb Doha, Qatar, the site of the largest military base in the Middle East, which exists to protect Israel, if you think it was a bad idea for the Israeli government to bomb Doha, then you're a Nazi?
It's madness that you're being talked to like this. Here are the countries with the highest number of arrests for online comments in 2023. 400 in Russia, 500 in Turkey, 1,500 in China, 3,500 Germany, Belarus 6,200, and oh, there you go, United Kingdom, more than double the number two, 12,000 and change. People being arrested for comments online. Come on.
I mean,
here's Jeffrey Epstein's neighbor, Howard Lutnick, talking about Epstein.
that's an incredible story that you could pick up that he was a pervert.
It's gross. The guy's gross. Right with my wife. He's gross. The guy's gross. This was not, the deep nuance of Howard Lutnick. This guy's gross.
Right. So how come Bill Gates and all these other people could hang around him and not see what you saw? Or did they see it and ignore it? Or
no, they participated.
Right.
That's what his MO was, get a massage. And what happened in that massage room, I assume, was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever. Blackmailed people. That's how he had money. So
what happened to those videos? Why is there now such a dearth of information when, Donald Trump's people are running the FBI and the DOJ?
I assume way back when they traded those videos in exchange for him getting that 18-month sentence, which allowed him to have visits and be out of jail. I mean, he's a serial sex offender. How could he get 18 months and be able to go to his office during the day and have visitors and stuff? It must have been a trade. So my assumption, I have no knowledge, but my assumption is there was a trade for the videos because there were people on those videos.
And have you talked to Donald Trump about this and shared your theory?
No, I mean, he knows the story.
Right.
But my story, that, I was the one that done with the guy. He knows that story, but that's it.
I mean, that's an incredible story that you could pick up that he was a pervert.
It's gross. The guy's gross. Right with my wife. He's gross. The guy's gross.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Letnick. Something about that reply is a little weird. Wisconsin high school forced kids to declare their politics on hallway squares. One girl said she was scared after classmates called Republicans Nazis, and the teacher made her do it anyway. You need to identify yourself. You put yourself on a hit list is essentially what they're talking about. Here's Nick Shirley being allegedly held at gunpoint. I don't know that was seen in the video or claimed, but this guy's being threatened with an execution. And one of the ICE agents from up in the building has a laser on him. Watch this.
What are you doing? Why are you so mad? I didn't do anything.
You did.
What did I do?
Look.
I haven't done anything.
Look. Do not come back.
Watch out.
You come back, I'm gonna smoke you, dude.
Really?
Yes, really. I'm
Why?
gonna smash that camera.
You have DHS watching you right there, lasered on you. You have a sniper lasered on you right now.
I don't give a
So he said that he is going to smoke you if you don't get out of there, and then it looked like DHS snipers came to your rescue. They zeroed in on him and lit him up with one of their lasers. That's what eventually got him to back down. But for people who say that there's not violence going on in front of these facilities, what do you say?
It's a complete lie. There's lots of violence going on. That's just one of the many threats I got that night. And when I was walking back to my car, another person pulled out their gun and threatened me, saying, "You want to be Kirk Jr.?" I mean, these people are very dangerous, and they're unhinged. Just the other night, a woman got beat up. She got punched in the face out there, and you're seeing it. These people they think they can get away with anything. They've been out there for over 100 days, yelling, screaming, terrorizing, and the police are nowhere to be seen. And the ICE and the ICE are all on their own out there.
But another reporter was out there, and she says that she got assaulted. Listen to her story.
Last night I got assaulted and I immediately ran to a Portland police officer, hunted down the suspect, chased her through the streets. Portland police refused to come in and make an arrest. Imagine my anger when I go online after doing all of that about an hour ago and I see Portland police put out a bolo asking for the public's help in identifying my assault suspect.
So she says that she had the person in her sights, but the Portland police wouldn't respond. But later on, they said, "Oh, help us find this person." Is that typical of what you're seeing there?
Yeah, the police are not intervening to help the people out there. If they're reacting after the fact that it's happened, and you have the governor who was marching with these people just hours before their big rally they just recently had, and the police, they're not there. They're nowhere to be found. It is literally lawless in that section of Portland, Oregon. So from what I understand is that the governor there and the mayor, they've pretty much sided with Antifa, saying that they have the right to be there and that there's nothing wrong that's happening. But you're seeing people get assaulted, and if you go there and they think you're the opposition, you'll have a mob of people all dressed in black come after you. And just like we saw in the video, the one guy said he wanted to smoke me, basically saying he wanted to shoot me and kill me.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why are you so mad? I didn't do anything.
You gotta stand up to the bullies already. There is a certain rhetoric that's getting people shot, and where is it coming from? Don't give me your whataboutism. It's coming from the left. It's coming from the deep state Democrats.
The kind of language that gets people shot. What he's saying is every Christian
This is Obama.
in America is an extremist. You can't watch 10 videos of Charlie Kirk without hearing him say, like he said to the 14-year-old girl who came up, "What should I do in my life? Read your Bible, obey your Bible, and tell people about what's in the Bible." He would say that constantly. His entire worldview, championing getting married young, championing having a family, championing working hard, doing all of the things that America values. That's what he was promoting. They asked him, "What are your two most important things?" He said, "Winning souls to Jesus Christ and ensuring religious freedom so we can do the first." And that man just said that he's an extremist, and anyone who supports him is an extremist. That's wild. And he's the one that went into the White House and undid so many things that have been in our foundation for 200 plus years, and sitting here calling the White House that's trying to go back to those founding values, and the man who is promoting those founding values in open dialogue, labeling those men as extremists. That's the kind of language that gets people shot, because mentally unstable people hear that and go, "I now have a moral obligation to make sure that voice is silenced." That's the kind of language that gets people shot. What he's saying is every Christian.
Yep. They've been targeting for a long time. Obama's got some axes to grind. Okay, so that lady that went bonkers on Cam Higbee, let's take a look at who this person is. Are they hinged? What is their job? They don't do anything important, right?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys were paying attention to my stories yesterday, you know that I uploaded this video of my good friend and really great journalist Cam Higbee was in Washington, D.C., and he was trying to have civil debate with people that were just passing by. This is kind of his style. This is what he does. Well, yesterday, he was assaulted by this woman. And I wanted to make a point with this. Breaking. The woman who attacked conservative Cam Higbee in D.C. has been identified as Taylor Alexandra Forte. Forte is reportedly a teacher at Prince George's County Public Schools. Not surprised. Okay? Now, what I wanted to tell you guys is when I go and I do these when I cover these protests, when people get violent and you see these protesters fighting against the police, one of the most common asked questions I get is, don't these people work? Don't they do something? Why are they out there? These people do work. This is something that this is my hill to die on. These people not only work, but if you've read this book, The Devil and Karl Marx, this tells you that since the late 1800s and early 1900s, card-carrying members of the Communist Party USA have been making sure that they infiltrate and completely control the education system.
And screw it up.
Because they know the importance of raising the next generation, but even more importantly, teaching them. Liberalism, Marxism, neo-Marxism, whatever you'd like to call it. Progressivism, I guess that's what they call it today. So yes, the answer is yes, they have jobs. And they deliberately put themselves in institutions of power and control to control entire generations. I hate it. I mean, it's one of the most triggering questions I get asked. Don't these people work? Don't they have jobs? My brother and sister in Christ, it is a Saturday morning. People protest on Saturdays because a lot of people don't work on Saturdays. Stop asking that stupid question on a Saturday. You're also off. You're just watching sports instead. I'm not going to blame these people for going out. I don't agree with everything that they stand for or what they claim to fight for. But I can at least respect the fact that they're out there trying to create a change for themselves. And guess what? 93% of educators identify as liberal left. It seems like they've infiltrated the education system.
Yep.
Because they don't watch sports. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Because they don't watch sports? By the way, I shared this before, and I just want to mention Benny Johnson saying that FBI Director Kash Patel has formally cut off all ties between the FBI and the SPLC. We said just the day before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, SPLC targeted him and TPUSA in their Hate Watch newsletter. Elon called them out, saying they were guilty of incitement to murder Charlie Kirk, and now they're cut off. Good. So, things are happening. Some good things are actually happening. This person switched to Angel Guild. I guess that's Angel Studios. I'm not familiar with what type of stuff they do, but this is Lives of TikTok.
I hear someone's not feeling well. Let's take a look at the little man.
The doctor walks in and says, "Oh, I heard she's not feeling well. Let's take a look at the little man." The kid looks over at the kid and goes, and the kid's like, She goes, "Can we speak outside?" Goes, "Look, this kid is trans. You will call him by his other, you'll say that this is a girl." And the dad walks in. It's like she's lecturing that you'll not call this little fella a boy. It's like, this is biology. This is physiology. This is biology. You want your doctor to be rooted in truth. It's a boy. You don't get to change your sex. It's not a thing. There are different things that you treat for boys and girls because we're built differently. That's the stuff that Netflix is pushing as children's entertainment. Rated for children. Pushing this propaganda that kids are born in the wrong sex. You got to protect the kids. The Babysitters Guild pushes transgenderism on kids, shames characters for misgendering, and demands hospital staff refer to her and treat a boy as a girl. That's why people are canceling Netflix. All right, here's President Trump discussing the government shutdown.
There was an OMB memo going around suggesting that there might be... Memo going around suggesting that there might be firings during the shutdown. Do you think that will happen if the shutdown goes for a little bit of time, sir?
Well, there could be firings, and that's their fault. And it could also be other things. I mean, we could cut projects that they wanted, favorite projects, and they'd be permanently cut. So you could say, a lot of people are saying Trump wanted this, that I wanted this closing, and I didn't want it. But a lot of people are saying it because I'm allowed to cut things that should have never been approved in the first place. And I will probably do that.
There was an OMB memo going around suggesting that there might be firing.
So, I mean, the Democrats kind of fell into the trap, didn't they?
There was an OMB memo.
Okay, how do I get back to... There we go.
You don't even know who's in charge of your own party, Democrat.
Yeah, the Democrats are having an internal civil war. Have you been following it? Is it Chuck Schumer's party or AOC's party?
Speaker Emerita, there was a thought from the Republicans that AOC is directing this, and she said that senators are welcome to go to her office directly. Is she driving that?
Why are you saying such a ridiculous thing?
I'm just quoting what AOC said. She said go to her office directly. Do you think there's any credibility to that?
Directing this.
Yeah, she kind of is. And if you have to clarify who's leading your party.
Look at me. It's my party now.
You're not in charge of your party, Nancy. And the little leverage the Democrats did have by shutting down the government over illegals getting health care, they gave up that leverage. And Trump doubled down, owning you guys again. You guys just walked right into it, too. He tweeted out or put on Truth or whatever it's called, "I can't believe the radical Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity." Look, this is exactly what I voted for. And the Democrats are finally waking up to the fact that they're becoming ineffective and irrelevant.
So we played sound from Vice President Vance, not just defending that AI racist video of Minority Leader Jeffries wearing a sombrero, but also like celebrating that video. And it was playing on a loop in the briefing room today. What are you hearing from the inside about that?
It was not only just playing on a loop in the briefing room, they were playing that mariachi music as well over the loudspeakers for all the press that was coming in and out of the White House today. It just kind of gives you a window, John, into how they're dealing with this and how they believe they have the upper hand when it comes to the messaging here.
They're laughing.
It's so good. Oh my, can you believe it? Yes, you're getting it. We don't care about your insults anymore. We are immune to your awful opinions of it because you insult conservatives no matter what we do. And when you overly dramatic, stuck up stiffs cry wolf for literally everything, no one cares anymore. Oh, the video is racist. No, it's not. Shut up.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for.
All right. It is a civil war in the Democrat Party. This is Just the News here. Real America's Voice talking about justice finally being served with Comey, etc.
Thoughts on what message the Comey indictment says and where the weaponization unraveling goes next?
Well, here's the thing is we need confidence in the system, and we need to know those folks in the FBI and these agencies and law enforcement are following the law and not political agendas. And if the grand jury had enough evidence to indict, then absolutely this should be, we should go down this path and see where this leads. And I'm just happy because I think people are, they're distrusting. And we can't bring trust to the people if we don't start bringing this to the forefront. So I'm really happy about that. And I'm just going to tell you, I've been very pleased with Director Patel and what's going on with the FBI right now. He's actually, opened a new office here in Billings, Montana to deal with a lot of the issues that we have here. And he's taken the job seriously. In terms of the indictments, like I said, if a grand jury has the evidence that they think to indict, then we need to go down that path and see where it leads us, because we need to make sure that the American people have faith in the institutions of this nation, especially, institutions such as the FBI.
Your thought?
I'm going to put in here time for indictments button. Indict them all. Let's go. Let's hurry up and do it fast is what I'm thinking. So do you see this video? They're claiming that the alleged shooter was filling up gas casually very far away from the shooting around. Well, just take a listen. There's some speculation about this Tyler potential shooter guy.
We just got some new footage in of the accused Charlie Kirk shooter. This is him right here at a gas station in Cedar City, Utah. And you can see he's filling up his tank. The reason why this came to our attention is because police in that community were asked to go to that gas station and investigate whether or not he potentially may have dropped anything in the dumpster. This report comes from Cedar City Police Department in Utah, and this is a little snippet that I pulled from the police report. You can see the date in question there is September 11th. That is the day after Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. You can see what was written in the report there. I highlighted it. The officers were asked to check whether a suspect in an ongoing case had disposed of evidence in a trash can at that location. Here he is getting some gas at the gas station. He fills up pretty quickly, gets back in the car, and drives away. You can see what's written in the report here also reflects what we just saw in the video as Tyler Robinson was filling up his gas tank. At no time did he approach or use any trash cans. And obviously, as always, you can follow scriptsnews.com for all of our reporting.
There you go. And by the way, the sombrero memes were, of course, to point out that the Democrats want to prioritize non-Americans over Americans. All right, let's check in at the U.S. universities here. What's going on in America at our universities? Well, foreign funding. It's not all Israel, people. It's coming from everywhere. And once you take the funding, you then have a master.
Qatar is among the top. Last year, Qatar was among the top 5 foreign donors to American colleges and universities, beating traditionally deep-pocketed donors like China and Saudi Arabia. Qatar is approximately 11% of the world's natural gas resources, but only 330,000 citizens, so it has ample wealth to spend buying prestige and influence in this country. According to federal disclosure data, American colleges and universities accepted $6.25 billion from Qatar since 2001. But Qatar is among the top. Last year, Qatar was among the top 5 foreign donors to American colleges and universities.
$6.5 billion in undisclosed funds. Why do we want Qatar having that much influence over the United States? Let's check in on Minnesota, where the Vikings are going to be headed back to after a tough loss to the Browns this Sunday. Department of Homeland Security has a shocking report, and Tim Walz has serious explaining to do.
Since September 19th, officers from our Fraud Detection and National Security Directorate, working in teams, have conducted over 1,000 site visits across the Minneapolis-St. Paul area as part of this operation. What they found should shock all of America.
We are being invaded, we are being abused, we are being robbed.
On a list of over 1,000 target cases involving more than 900 individuals, our officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system, abuse of the F-1 visas, and many other discrepancies. Over the course of the operation, our officers found indication of fraud, non-compliance, or public safety and national security concerns in nearly a little less than 50% of the cases interviewed. Since September 19th, officers from our fraud...
There you go. I think that's the beginning of it. Tons of fraud. A lot of people claimed to be persecuted. They were told what to say to sneak into the country. So the Democrats are saying, no, these aren't illegal people. These are people that were refugees. They're asylum seekers. Yep, that's the loophole we were exploiting. I mean, that's what all of these people legitimately are. Okay. There's a lot of fraud, though. Ton of fraud. Steve Burns says it's pretty crazy that most of the biggest names in comedy wouldn't even consider performing for the president of the United States, but they'd go to Saudi Arabia, one of the worst violators of human rights in the world. Go figure. I want to look that one up, so let's go to X, or let's go to this other one. Look at this. John made an image, says, Happy Friday, TNAM Trash Pandas. Look on the screen. Happy Friday, TNAM Trash Pandas, and a big double pinky finger salute to all the haters. TNAM Trash Pandas. Hey, maybe we should. All right, let's do this for the World Series, John. Let's get a graphic that looks like how, I don't know, Fox Sports or ESPN, how they do a lineup and it'll show you the players. Right field, center field, left field, shortstop, second base, third base, first base, pitcher, catcher. I think we have a good number of regulars where people could be on the team. See, there's the catcher. There's someone swinging. We'll have someone be in the pitcher. Somebody. We could assign some of the TNAM Trash Pandas some positions. That would be funny. Bravo. Oh, but the thing I wanted to look up on Grok was which comics are performing in Saudi Arabia. What is this story about? Yep, Saudi Arabia. Dave Chappelle. He joked about easier free speech. Oh, this already happened? Well, I guess this all already happened. Okay. Joked about having easier free speech in Saudi Arabia instead of the United States. Kevin Hart. Bill Burr defended participation despite past criticism. Yep, money changes you. Louis C.K. Pete Davidson cited the big payout as the reason. Aziz Ansari, part of Multi-Act Nights. Joe Coy, Whitney Cummings, Russell Peters, Jimmy Carr, Chris Tucker, Tom Segura, Andrew Santino, Bobby Lee, Hannibal Buress, Andrew Schultz, Shane Gillis turned it down. Tim Dillon was removed. Jim Jeffries dropped. Okay. Well, I guess that already happened. That's what the joke was from. That was the double sneeze button. I like the Trash Pandas. Happy Friday. All right, well, that's what that's about. Steve Byrne calling them out. Yeah, principles are one thing, and then big paydays are another. Toria Brooks says DHS removed 5 senior officials from the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, accusing them of weaponizing a now abolished federal watch list. Bricks News says Russian President Putin says he wants to restore full relations with President Trump and the United States. Let's see what happens. Toria Brooks says the U.S. is formally engaged in an armed conflict with drug cartels, according to confidential notice to members of Congress, according to The Independent.
The same agency asked us to do certain.
Telegram founder Pavel Durov exposed a French intelligence agency's effort to influence elections in Moldova. Pavel warns of global crackdowns on privacy and free speech.
And things in Moldova as well. So even before that, I think it was October last year or September, I was arrested in Paris in late August. And then again approached through an intermediary and asked, would you mind taking down some channels in Moldova because there's an election going on and we're afraid there's going to be some interference with these elections. Could you please connect with representatives of the government of Moldova and take care of it? We said, we're happy to take a look at it and see if there's content there that is in violation of our rules. And they sent us a list of channels and bots. Some of them were, so it was a very short list, and some of this, the same agency asked us to do certain channels and bots were in violation indeed of our rules, and we took them down, only a few of them. The rest were okay. Then they said thank you and sent us another list of dozens of channels, many channels. We looked at these channels, we realized that there is no solid foundation to justify banning them. And we refused to do that. But interestingly enough, the French intelligence services that were asking us to do this in Moldova let me know through their contact that after Telegram ban channels and bots were invited.
All right. They're never going to stop.
The few channels.
They're never going to try to stop rigging elections. And so you have to make sure you're as transparent as possible on these platforms. We have a right to a public square, digital public square without the influence. So you can stage a coup and overthrow our country and steal our money and use it against us. That's the takeaway there. I played this yesterday. It's just awesome. I'll play it.
Soup of law enforcement as we've seen them get ready and go out.
Tennessee residents are clowning CNN as federal law enforcement takes over Memphis.
And make runs throughout the day. We know more than 50 arrests were made just last night, 20 guns taken off the street in the last 48 hours. You see people like this who are behind me with this sign. He has it on both sides. If you can flip it around and show what he's saying, he's hoping that this action by Trump will help make the city safer. Take a listen to a man that we talked to in a neighborhood that basically says he welcomes the idea of this federal action. It's been an alphabet soup of law enforcement.
And that's good. That's how you do it. AF Post says pro-Israel journalist Barry Weiss, whose media blog, The Free Press, is being purchased by Paramount for $150 million, is slated to become CBS News editor-in-chief. Barry Weiss sold The Free Press to Paramount for $150 million. Paramount's buying everything. Unconventionally, she will report straight to Paramount CEO David Ellison, bypassing both CBS News president Tom Sebrowski and Paramount's head of television George Cheeks. Huh. Well, she's being framed as pro-Israel. Wasn't Barry Weiss? She's pretty good on free speech. Russian President Putin says, even Russia's most liberal intellectuals tell me the Europe we loved no longer exists. Putin argues the real collapse is Europe's loss of identity due to unchecked migration.
Или это Европа наций, Европа в полном прямом.
Michael Perry.
All right. Those were a couple of stories there. Muslim scholar admits he wants to take over the United States and Europe. Take a listen. Shared by Joey Manorino.
We are the messengers of the messenger. We are the representative of this deen of Islam. We have to be the solution. The future is ours. Every ideal nightmare of a Muslim Europe will come true. They can be as mad as they want. I don't care. America will be a Muslim country. Russia will be a Muslim country. Islam will enter every house. We have to be a part of that change. We have to be a part of that da'wah. We have to be a part of those ghuraba.
This is a political ideology to dominate every sovereign nation. Are you aware of this?
Who stand firm on our aqidah and our practice and our deen and never ever apologize. We're unapologetic. Never ever compromise. We're uncompromising. We are the messengers of the messenger. We are the representative of this deen of Islam. We have to be the solution. The future is ours.
Okay. Well, the future is somebody's. Here's a look you give when the government shuts down and all my online friends go quiet. We said, let's see if our paid trolls still come out to play today, almost like our taxes are stolen and then used to abuse us. We did, didn't we? I appreciate the bless you, because I was sneezing. We had our troll come in and posted something. Hello, Unholy Hoax and Nick and everybody. Today's been an interesting day. We had our troll in the comments section. Oh, there we go. Trump has been out on bail. I hope he isn't put on trial. Like, what are we talking about, Lauren? All the people involved in that need to be sent to prison for election interference, for violating our civil liberties. Thanks for playing that today. Physicists discover a quantum effect where choices made in the present seem to alter events in the past. Click on that if you want to learn more. Hey, quick, while the government's shut down, somebody start a new one. Can we do that, please? Yeah, pinkies up, Finky. Oh, Finky. Can't we all just get Islam? Who said that in 1990? What was that, 2, 3? Can't we all just get along? So people are saying, stop calling Charlie Kirk this. Well, how about no?
Stop calling this man a martyr. He was killed for his political beliefs. Some people think that being a martyr has
to do with the location of your ministry. I want to play this, but it's got music, and I don't want to read it all.
Is talking to students. If you somehow believe that makes him not someone who is fulfilling the call of God on his life, just take a look at this.
Acts 19 is describing the ministry of Paul in Ephesus. He gets the disciples reasoning daily in the hall of Tyrannus. And this continued for 2 years so that all the residents of Asia heard the word of the Lord. The hall of Tyrannus was a Greek school where people would go like a college today to learn intellectual topics and to debate what is true. And Paul says, I'm going to spend the next 2 years debating every single day with all of these unbelievers. Does that remind you of anybody? Of Charlie Kirk? Oh, he wasn't a martyr because he was shot doing things in schools and colleges. Hello. He was doing the work of the Lord. He was imitating Paul. You know what? Paul is not very Christ-like of you to debate it, you know? If Paul didn't spend those 2 years, we wouldn't have this verse because of it. The residents of Asia heard the word of the Lord, both Jews and Gentiles. If Paul kept the message in the synagogues, all of Asia would not have heard the truth of the gospel. I wonder how many atheists and transgender people who hate God heard the truth because of Charlie Kirk, because he went out into colleges and universities preaching the truth relentlessly every single day, and we need to pick up the mantle and take the word of God out into the center of culture. God didn't give us the word of God to keep in the four walls of the church. How many pastors, if Paul got assassinated for causing controversy among the Greeks, how many pastors would have stayed silent? Stop calling this man a martyr? Come on. He was killed for his political beliefs. I'll do an amen button on this comment. Like I said, I will discuss Charlie Kirk more than I ever have. I'm not going to stop. Whoever tried to silence him screwed up, because I'm going to do it a lot more. Here's a conversation about immigration. It's not a human right. Andrew Gold. Let's see. Watch the reel.
If the foreigner doesn't benefit the fucking country, they shouldn't be here. What you're getting at there is a question of ideology. You just said yourself, we don't want to be the person that's anti-immigration. Well, why not? What makes you feel like there's anything wrong with being the person who's anti-immigration? The problem is that we've been socially acculturated, right, to believe that immigration is like a human right, that immigration is a good thing, that immigration is democracy. Fuck that! Fuck that! That's not why immigration was invented. Immigration was invented because countries needed to survive, so they needed to bring in skilled workers from other countries, or they needed to bring in labor-intensive workers from other countries to do jobs that the local skilled workforce couldn't do. That's it. That's why immigration exists. It's not supposed to be fair and just, and we're here to help people, and we want to make sure that refugees have a safe place. No, that's all political bullshit. That's all stuff that you feed a stupid citizenship to make them feel like we're doing the right thing by letting foreigners into our country. If the foreigner doesn't benefit the fucking country, they shouldn't be here. There's some other place they can go where they can benefit that country there, but that country isn't here. So when you're bringing in people who are unskilled, uneducated, and then when they come here, they also don't acculturate to your country, that's not an immigrant. That's a transplant. That's a person who's just bringing their culture, their life, their society to you to feed off of you, to feed off of your land and your taxes and your benefits to help them, not the other way around. And that's not me being anti-immigration. I am all for immigration. I come from a country that was built on the backs of immigrants who had something special and they gave it to the country that they moved to. That's completely different than giving safe haven to a bunch of broke and poor people because you feel like it's the nice thing to do. If the foreigner doesn't benefit the fucking country, they shouldn't be here.
I mean, it's hard to argue that. I don't know why we have to have these conversations. This dude did an interesting rap. I think this is High Ren, but I don't know that I can play it without copyright.
This business economics in the nursery rhyme. She sells seashells on the seashore.
It's interesting to watch it. Ren makes music. Ren lyrics. Can't follow it. But it's worth watching. I just don't want to get the copyright. God's response to my plans, 90% of the...
I like your plan, except it sucks, so let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Yeah. Man makes plans and God laughs. I can't be the only one. Charlie Kirk mentioned this phrase. Psalm 97:10 in the Bible reads, according to the New International Version, "Let those who love the Lord hate evil, for he guards the lives of his faithful ones and delivers them from the hand of the wicked." That's what Charlie Kirk said. He's like, some people go by different verses. He goes, this is mine. He goes, I hate evil. And that's how I've always felt. I don't like this soft thing. I don't like this passive turn the other cheek thing. No, we have a right to self-defense. Let's leave it at that. Those who love the Lord hate evil. Remember that. Psalm 97:10. Charlie Kirk was mentioning that, and I wanted to share it. The British Patriot says the far right doesn't drive into crowds or knife innocent people or blow up pop concerts or gang rape white girls, or they're not 90% of the MI5's terror watch list, and they don't even exist. They're the imaginary far right. They don't exist. But that's what Keir Starmer says. That's who's the real threat. This guy's a traitor to England. Remove traitors button. Politically. Through retirement. You got to post the disclaimer, because if I ever try to go to England, yeah, it's like they've told you, don't even bother. Real News Just Fact reporting, and I'll do a search here. They're saying more than 900 illegal aliens have been arrested as part of the government's Operation Midway Blitz, according to DHS in a press release from the agency. They targeted the worst of the worst in Chicago. Anyway, they got music. I don't want. Well, it's saying that ICE took out 900 illegal aliens. They're saying it's a DHS memo. Well, good. On to the next 900. This Michigan resident wants to speak out on what happened with the Muslim takeover of Dearborn.
That Dearborn has been in the news recently. I wanted to get on here and just tell everyone that I was raised 10 minutes from Dearborn. I spent a lot of time in Dearborn, and I know what goes on in Dearborn. So, coming from somebody who was raised right outside of Dearborn, spent a lot of time in that city, I will tell you that what you are hearing is absolutely true. Now, there's two parts of Dearborn, the east side and the west side. The west side is about 50% Christian, 50% Muslim. The east side is about 90% Muslim, if not more. The east side is where you hear that mayor saying that he's putting that street up named after a tea organization or somebody that was a tea. Yes, that is the east side by Warren Avenue. So as a woman that grew up 10 minutes from Dearborn and spent the majority of my time in that area growing up, I will tell you that a woman cannot walk down the street in East Dearborn and not get harassed in some way or even spit on. I've seen friends of mine get spit on for not covering their hair and their face. You will not pass a building that is not written in Arabic. You cannot read anything. It's like being in a third world country. Now, I know that there'll be pushback on this video and people will say, that's not true. American women can walk down the street in Dearborn. Well, I'm telling you right now that it is absolutely true. And I have several times walked down the street in Dearborn and been harassed. My friends have been spit on.
So you got to be careful about what you're bringing into your country, because they're going to try to change your country. Is that something you want to happen? Is that what Dearborn should be known for? What Rogan's talking about what happened in the UK. The UK has been invaded and they're getting in trouble for speaking out about it. It's insanity.
What you're seeing in other countries is
movement to digital ID in Europe and the UK. In a lot of places, you're going to need work to vote and travel. It'll be more of a constriction on your ability to express yourself, particularly when you think about the UK. She had more than 12,000 arrests for very mild social media posts. Can't believe watching this stuff play out. I think that's Greg Braden. The fact that our mainstream media is relatively silent on this is insane. You're seeing a complete, total attack on one of the most fundamental principles of the Western world, which is your ability to express yourself and call out what you think the policies that are being implemented in your country, they're destructive, and that people always have been able to do that. These people aren't calling for violence. They're not being arrested for wild things. People are being arrested for liking posts, being arrested and investigated for viewing posts. 12,000 people arrested by the police in the UK. The same place that just implemented digital ID. This is an Orwell nightmare coming to life right in front of our face. And no one's flinching. No one in America is freaking out. I am. I'm doing it as much as I can. I cover it every fucking show. Some people online are kind of freaked out by it, but they're way more freaked out by nonsensical things like whether or not what Jimmy Kimmel said in his monologue was offensive. We'll go to the ends of the earth to fight that. And that's the programming. It's easy. That's a simple thing, and it doesn't freak you out. Like, if you could get Jimmy Kimmel canceled, screw him. You have some power. You have power, but you really don't. If you look at what's going on in the UK, what they're learning over there is that they're in a tyrannical government who slowly and surely puts its hook in your back in a rear naked hold, and it's got them locked up. You got to do something about this. Rogan knows. In England, the Karens are harassing the English. Here's two ladies just bothering these people.
Holding us up for no reason.
Okay.
Well, have we committed a crime?
We're just trying to have a discussion at the minute.
No, I'm asking you a question. Have we committed a crime?
So at the minute, you've got the word wanker that's displayed on the side. So someone might take offence to that. I know, obviously, you might see it as a different way, but technically, it's a public order offence.
The only person who would take offence to that is Keir Starmer. Everyone else agrees with it.
I'm not saying anything in terms of that. I've got to remain biased, but that's obviously why I've come down to
But if we've not committed a criminal offence, then can we go?
Well, just for the time being,
it's in terms of you've got Britain First written on the side of the van.
Imagine that. The cops are harassing this lady because what's written on the van says Britain First. Excuse me? Of course it's Britain First. Who are these tyrants who are coming over saying, how dare you write Britain First? Of course you write Britain First. If you don't like Britain First, we got a problem with you. This is completely backward.
So what's wrong with that? It's a prescribed organisation. No, it's not.
What?
It's a registered political party.
Just give us 2 seconds to run everything through. But obviously you're detained at the minute.
We're detained.
You know why.
We're detained because we're
It's a prescribed
terrorist organisation.
What? That is insane.
Heavens.
Prescribed terrorist organisation when we are a registered political party. A registered political party.
Unbelievable. It's got Britain First on the side and we're prescribed. And look how ridiculous this is. Turn the camera around and look over there.
Look over here. This is where they've pulled us up. That's right there. Illegal immigrants. Yet we're a prescribed terror organisation, according to that police officer.
You're just...
Yeah, England is a mess. Julius Ruckel says, here's your periodic reminder that a cow cannot add a single atom of carbon to the atmosphere that wasn't previously removed from the atmosphere by a plant. So cows cannot increase atmospheric carbon dioxide. They merely recycle carbon dioxide. It's not a new source of carbon. Without cows, bacteria would over time rot plant fibers and return the exact same amount of carbon to the atmosphere. But grazing cows help grass sod fix carbon in the soil, thus increasing soil fertility over time. The climate crusade is built on scientific fraud, and many of the proposed solutions, like reducing cows, are directly causing much of the soil degradation and forest fires because of ungrazed fuel in the forests, which activists and dishonest scientists then blame on climate change. And this is by the way, this is the type of post that YouTube would suspend accounts for, remove monetization for, shadow ban accounts for, because it was a grift, and anything that would go against the grift, well, now you're reaching into our pockets, they would say. And Bannon talking about the obviously stolen election. By the way, under duress for countervailing views on health and elections, go to cdc.gov, who.int, and cisa.gov/rumor control. Look at the countervailing views. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You can't take down my video now. We needed to say this for years because we weren't allowed to present our opinions as accurate, but Google YouTube was. And if you didn't play along, they would shadow ban your account. They'd take your monetization away. Oh, by the way, great reminder. We do have memberships on YouTube and super chats on YouTube. Thank you to everyone who's boosted our numbers. Oh, let me do the numbers real quick. We are 586 views away from eligibility to put our advertising revenue back onto our YouTube channel. So if you could watch some extra hours of content on the New American Media YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate you doing so. We have roughly 2,000 videos over 14 years. We just need 580, what did I say, 586 pennies in the wishing well. Each penny in the wishing well is an hour of YouTube video watched. Yeah, I looked at our lifetime earnings, and we were earning thousands of dollars on the ad revenue on our YouTube channel, and it was all taken away. You know, we were shadow banned into oblivion. So we'd like to get that back. If President Trump can win $24 million because his account was disabled, maybe we can get our ability to earn a living back. I mean, it's been a tough go. It's been a labor of love. This hasn't earned me money. This has cost me a fucking fortune. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know why I shouldn't be in the top 100 voices covering the news. Of course, I believe I'm in that. Kind of going back to Blake's conversation about Shedeur Sanders. Well, why would you say, looking around the league, I feel like I'm capable of playing as good as the top 32? I've seen some bad quarterback play. I could definitely play better than some of these guys. I want in too. I want in the top 100. I want to be making enough money to do this full time. I do this at more than full time that I can, but I believe in it. And that's why I've never stopped doing it. I've set it aside when everything was shadow banned into oblivion, but I'm back. And it would be nice to get advertising revenue. So please check out the YouTube channel for the New American Media, if you'd be so kind and let some extra content play. Check out some old shows. I mean, I wonder how many minutes of content we have. I've never done the analytics on that, but 1,900 videos over 14 years, that's a lot of content. So it's a content watching drive to bang out these final 586 hours and get us back to our advertising level. It would be super helpful to open up that tip jar again. All right, here's Steve Bannon talking about when Trump lost. Sure he did.
Let me be blunt. Not only did Trump win the presidency that was stolen from him, you can tell he won the presidency because we picked up 14 seats, 14 House seats, net 12. Net 12. And you look through the districts and the bellwether districts and winning these seats, you see how Trump won. But we still jammed Pelosi. Because why? Because people were actually, saw the logic of securing the border and building a border wall. The very issue that the illegitimate Biden regime, when they stole the presidency, opened the border to allow 10 to 15 million illegal aliens in the country in a very organized manner. The exact thing, wait for it, that President Trump is now having the generals and everybody focus on. You're going to Memphis, you're going to Portland. It's all about the mass deportations of the illegal alien invaders that came in on Biden's watch. This is all of a piece. And let me be blunt. Not only did Trump win the presidency that was stolen from him, you can tell he won the presidency because we picked up 14 seats, 14 House seats, net 12. Net 12.
By the way, there's where did that go? There was a new story. Heavy military presence outside the Broadview ICE facility in Illinois. Snipers on top of armored vehicles. Protesters being arrested. Well, I mean, that's of course what you would want. Well, we'll go to this in a second. Well, let's just go to it now real quick. Trying to block the vehicles.
Fuck you, asshole! Hey, fuck you, piece of shit! Shame on you! Shame on you! Who are you protecting?
Okay. What else? They got snipers. Well, yeah. I mean, this is a violent, deadly group who's trying to allow the millions of invaders to stay in the country. They need to go. They all need to go. The CBP Home app was developed from CBP One. If you snuck in illegally, and come on, you know you did, it's time to go. They know that. This is an invasion. This is a military tactic at this point. I'm seeing reports of this, by the way. Leading report says Department of Treasury is reportedly planning to create new $1 coins with President Trump's image for America's 250th anniversary. Fight, 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 the United States of America. What do you know? The $1 coin. It's pretty interesting, huh?
Well, and you look through the districts and the bellwether districts, and winning these seats, you see how Trump won. But we still we jammed Pelosi because why? Because people were actually, saw the logic of securing the border and building a border wall. The very issue that the illegitimate Biden regime, when they stole the presidency, opened the border to allow 10 to 15 million illegal aliens in the country in a very
40
organized manner. The exact thing, wait for it, that President Trump is now having the generals and everybody focus on. You're going to Memphis, you're going to Portland. It's all about
Chicago. And then there's people out there trying to protest, cleaning up the country and getting the people who snuck in out. You don't get to sneak in here. Your fake asylum claims don't work. I don't care what the Democrats promised you. They were not speaking on behalf of the American people. That was a regime that overthrew the Trump administration in 2020. How do you consider that to be anything other than an act of war?
Out the mass deportations of the illegal alien invaders that came in on Biden's watch. This is all of a piece. And let me be blunt. Not only did Trump win the presidency that was stolen from him, you can tell he won the presidency because we...
Okay, I think that reset. Yep. All right. I think let's pause there. That's the stuff I wanted to talk to you about today. I'll lead with that story tomorrow. Give me 3 Trumps for a nickel, as was the custom at the time. That's a Grandpa Simpson joke. Nicely played. All right. Well, I'm going to pause here. And I'll be back. I might be early tomorrow. I might be 7, 8, or 9. Maybe 7 or 8. Maybe 8. Maybe 8:30. I'm probably going to be early tomorrow, okay? But yeah, like I said, please check out the other shows. Click on some YouTube stuff and play some videos. We need 586 hours to unlock our advertisements again, which would be great because, with that many videos floating out there, when people watch them, we would sure appreciate those thousands of dollars of advertising revenue coming back in that have been stolen from us for all these years. Because like I said, I've sunk a small fortune into the new American media over 14 years just to keep doing this, hoping that down the road at some point, you're going to finally get your break. You're going to finally do the thing that it's like the musicians that finally get the song that gets them on the tour, that gets them all of those years of investment. They finally make it worth it. But your extra hours watching the new American media content will help us get there. So if anyone can, please watch some extra hours of the new American media on YouTube. Lisa needs braces. Dental plan. God, I need to start watching The Simpsons again. It's been too long. I love that Kenneth is on the same wavelength of all the Simpsons stuff. Definitely appreciate that. All right, everybody. Thank you all for watching. If you want a mug, shoot me a message. Let me know. If you want coasters, let me know. Patreon, Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. All right. I'm going to sign out. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care now. Peace out.
guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.